Leche.
Introducing Pubcoin. Pubcoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into Pubcoins. Pubcoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here. Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. Pubsportsradio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys.
Upgrade your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday.
A lot of names, a lot of familiar faces, and another chance for $50 to sign up for PSR Gold. It's going to be a lot of fun. Why wouldn't you want to be on this list, huh? Frank, that's a great question. Does AI determine the winner? No, Frank. The fastest horse does. So shout out to everyone that's a member. We appreciate you guys. We let our horses run forever. 2.5 hours.
Hey, what were you saying?
It's San Antonio. Here we go.
And they are off.
You know I'm not winning this. My horse ain't like this.
And here comes Big Show, who says 2 minutes is too long. Big Show wants this race to end right now. Going to be moving into the stretch soon. K-Wolf up front. Saturated making a move. And there's nasty motherfucking Nate. Director 97. And he should have been 40. He should have been 40. Director 97. $100. He wanting all the money.
Oh my God, Director.
And it's Director 97. Back.
Oh my
God! Fresh, take it home! You're 6'5", 4! Oh God! Saturated. Friedrich gonna come home with it. Is it Billy Friedrich's time? Is it his time? No, it's not. Cody Norton maybe this doing the fight with as well. Doing the fight. How dare you throw that down? Does Coin have enough space to get home? Or will Gabby take care of business? Here comes the show. A third win for Director 97.
But Connor Mack takes out. He might be blowing his load a little bit too early. Does anybody? The contest, here comes Iron Eagle out of nowhere. Iron Eagle.
It's a packed race. 5 seconds. Bristol from the back. Bristol. The family wants that.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm the cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated, who get produced, fade the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call the truth. They get slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a little weapon, cause we be, oh yeah, pubbing. We be pubbing!
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy 4th of July to all of you. God bless America. Let's get that cash. 4th of July means MLB afternoon action. God, I'm excited about today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We got Truth Teller in the house. Justin McKelvey. Stacks play today. Juan Soto over 1.5 bases at plus 112. Swiggy went head-to-head with Jose with Arizona Dodgers. Says Stone losing to a AAA starter who gave up 4 in the first. Complete game for Stone in his previous appearance. Through like 90 pitches. Things are a little different when you switch locations, home to a road to home. And I'm fading another pitcher who's coming off a complete game shutout. Now, I only cashed on that Arizona Diamondbacks team total over, but we picked that up, in the second inning? Or the top of the third, I believe. Interesting. Very, very interesting spot there because I'm fading another pitcher off a complete game shutout. Avon Polo on the Nationals. Jay Stone, Rocco Rogers, Avon Polo, Nut Flush Allen, Deer Slayer Ski. He's on the Baltimore Orioles today. Phil the Kill, Mikey Money, Nordy, Gerald Jones, Fernando Mendoza. All of you guys, great to see you. Tori Coker, the Truth Teller Kongs Clip Series Business, Gerald Jones, Christian Rivas, James Parm. Great to see James Parm back in business with us. It's been a long time. Too long. It's great to see all of you guys here. And we got to get right to work. Our first game pops off in 15 minutes. So we're going to give our heavier shouts out. We're going to copy and paste all of the special plays of the day. We're going to copy and paste and get them all set up. But first and foremost, we must get that cash in game 1. By the way, Mikey Money all over James Webb in the hot dog eating contest. Skunt Blaster moving on this one, our friend, Mr. Blaster. But first, please welcome our star of MLB programming here on Pub Sports Radio, coming to us from San Jose, Texas. Today is Independence Day in America, and his homeland celebrates their Independence Day tomorrow with a game against Canada. It's going to be a very intense 48 hours for my co-host. Please welcome Mr. Jose Bouquet to the show. Jose, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Jimmy. Excited. It is going to be a very interesting 48 hours for me. Already blew $100 at the horse track. That was a good time.
Now, how much did you blow getting into it? Because the last time we can't even talk about this. We don't have time, but last time you were down $50 before you stepped foot into the horse track, which got huge laughs from your friends. We still laugh at it.
I only had to pay the solemn entry fee this time, thankfully. Thankfully, it was only
dope
that.
You were at Ritama, though, for live racing. That's really cool, man. I hope.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know what the fuck a quarter horse is and why they're frowned upon, but I might have to fight for quarter horses now.
Sure. They're very short races.
Yeah. Yeah. Who would have thought? I didn't know that going into the first race, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
We have a birthday today. Not only is it Independence Day, it's our guy Ron Crawford's birthday.
Wow.
Needing a birthday pick from us. What a guy he is, Ron Crawford, celebrating his birthday today. You give so much to the community, so much to us. You're such a big part of our group, and we love you so much, Ron. Shout out to our guy, Ron Crawford, on his birthday. All right, Jose, first off, how many bets have you made on this card thus far?
None. I make none coming into these shows. I cap everything with the fellas. It's been working. I had an okay day yesterday. I had a losing day, but could have been worse. Shout out to the Diamondbacks for making it not a sweaty day at all. But excited to get into this card with everyone as always.
Abracadabra in the house. We got Nate Dogg. We got Philly Eagle Flyer, Wine Time, Michael Piccioni ready to go. Jose Sierra. Great group here, and a lot of love being given to Ron Crawford. Well, we have 12 minutes until first pitch. There's Steve G, my guy. Steve G, can't wait to talk to you about everything that's going on since July 1st. But now we have to focus. Of course, we're talking about the ice there with my guy, Steve G. New York Mets, 42-42, 21-17 on the road to the Washington Nationals, 40-46, 18-21 at home at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. Thank you to all of you guys who've joined us 15 minutes earlier so that we could cap this game and get action in if we see fit to deliver. So let's first start with the weather. Again, we have 12 minutes. Nothing to worry about. No need to panic. 80, I have to tell myself that. 88 Fahrenheit feels like 9. Now, I've made 3 bets on the card. This is not one of them. Feels like 92. It's hot and sticky in the nation's capital on Independence Day. 5 miles per hour out to right field. Stays between 4.5 and 5 miles per hour. Not a ton of weather issues. Joe T already bet the over 9. Wine time's on the under 9. Philly Eagle is on the Nats game to be tied after the second inning at plus 205. And keep an eye out for our Philly Eagle flyer because he cashes these at an alarmingly interesting rate. Billy Friedrich on the Mets team total over 4.5 again for sure. I did lose I went 5 and 6 yesterday. I did lose my -1 on the Mets and my -1 on the Twins. Jose Quintana going up against, and I got off to such a great start. I thought I was going to eat, but
Same.
digress. Jose Quintana, Jake Irvin. Let's get into the line history here for this one. This total is sitting here at 9, juice to the over heavy at -118. It opened up at 9, -108 to the over. I know some books opened it up 8.5, heavily juiced to the over. This was just slightly juiced to the over at 9, -108. Gets up to 9.5, but comes back down to 9. This is all happening this morning between 2 and 8, 2 and 9. Then it starts getting juiced around 9:14 a.m. It hits 9.5, not a real 9.5 at 10:07, comes back to 9, now back at 9.5. And it's a sort of -116 to the under, +103 to the over. So we have a half run move to the over. On the money line here, we have Jose Quintana and the Mets at -107. They opened up at -108. So we've had no movement, a half run, no movement on the side, a half run move to the over. Let's get to the cash flow here for this one. 92% of tickets, 90% of cash on the over, and we see it moving towards the over. Now that does not scare wine time. These early starts are not easy for ball players, but we don't have a Pacific team in the game, so it's not horrible for either team. On the money line, we have 65% of tickets and 88% of cash on the New York Mets, yet the line is not moving to them. Quintana, 3-5, 4.57 ERA. He's coming off what I thought and deemed a very impressive performance at home versus the Astros. The Astros were raking, and he had a very tough time getting through 4 innings, but he did it with 2 earned runs allowed, 7 Ks, 3 walks. He got the job done. He struggled on the road all year. 2-2, 5.63 ERA, 283 opponent's batting average. Going up against Jake Irvin, who just tossed a thing of beauty against Tampa, in Tampa at St. Petersburg. 1 earned run. It was a solo shot. It was the only hit he allowed in 6 innings. He's been very good this year. 3.03 ERA, 1.06 whip. He's been strong and more strikeouts than we're used to from Irvin. The problem is he's struggled at home. 1-5, 4.36 ERA, 298 opponent's batting average. He's not been very good. We know the Mets are raking red. He's 261, 815 OPS since June 1st. Nats first lefties 236, 34 OPS. I'm staring at the clock out of my right eye. 8 minutes till first pitch. Mets bullpen 3.96 ERA, 1.20 whip since June 1st, while the Nats bullpen has struggled 4.69 ERA, 1.18 whip. Mikey Money said, how can you fade the Nats on America's Day? Road team, same series after blowing lead are 53-14, but not on America's Day. Shout out to Jay Kopp, now a member of Weeby Pubin. Jay Kopp says 11 a.m. games seem to go under. Rocco Rogers moving on. Nemo over 1.5 bases and a homer. Nemo and Lane Thomas hit parlay, and Thomas home run plus 600. Thomas has been struggling, but he had some really good at-bats yesterday. Some really good at-bats. He really looked locked in. Jose Bouquet, 8 minutes still till first pitch. Do we move on this game because there's some conflicting numbers?
Yeah, I've gone kind of looking at this game back and forth here. I mean, obviously, if you look at the Mets numbers against righties, lefties this last month, they've been killing it. We know that. And it's kind of scary to go up against those numbers. You know, Jake Irvin is one of my guys in my rotation this year. He's been solid, like you've mentioned, and I enjoy betting him quite a lot. And what's funny, you know, the line has kind of crept towards the Nationals a bit for Bet Online, open up at -110, even money for Los Nacionales there. And now it is at -107 there. So, you know, I kind of went back and forth, and I understand why the over is loved here because I forgot who said, I think it was Billy Friedrich, saying the Nationals bullpen or both bullpens are a little taxed, but I'll tell you the Nationals is definitely. Robert Garcia threw 3 days in a row. Hunter Harvey threw 3 days in a row. Kyle Finnegan has thrown 3 days in a row, and that typically does not happen. So they're all down today. I can almost guarantee that. Dylan Floro threw 21 and 15 on Monday and Tuesday, so he might not be able to go again here today. You had a day off yesterday, so that leaves you with Derek Law, Jacob Barnes, Jordan Weems, and Tanner Rainey, who all have not thrown, but I can very much assume they're not quality arms in the bullpen there that the Nationals won. On the other side, Jake Diekman, 27 pitches yesterday. He's not going to go. Ty Adcock, 17. He should be fine, and so is Ottavino at 13. So, honestly, no Diekman's probably an improvement for them. So, I do kind of like the over. I just don't love how, much it's moved or how public it is. But I will say this. Both these pitchers are very good. And I looked at the first 5 movement on Bet Online just to see what that would be like. It went from 5 minus 114 to the under to 5 minus 140 to the under.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely am interested in the first 5 under in this game, truthfully, because I do think these pitchers are good enough to hold both these offenses down. And we've talked about how regression, I think, is coming for the Mets here. So I'm going to try to look for a first 5 under that I can bet in this game. Slow starting game, and I'm not going to trust either bullpen. I think if I would have stuck to first 5s yesterday, I would have turned some of those losses on the totals to wins. But yeah, first 5 under is going to be an official play if I can find a bettable price here.
Very, very, very interesting. 5 minutes to go. So it's clear that the bullpen issues are baked into the line. You have a 4.5 first 5 at 365 and a 9 full game. And can you give me some better pitcher stats right now? Because that under 2.5, first 3 under 2.5, I find a tiny bit more appealing. And we have 4 minutes. So I'm going to set up a bet just so I don't panic. I'm going to set up a bet, and I may not send it in, but I don't. So I'm going to set up the first 3 under 2.5, but give me the information here on. Oh shit!
Yeah, so Irvin has only faced them once, and he got crushed.
Was that this year?
It was last year, 2023.
Okay.
Here, so it was 4 2/3, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 6 Ks, 1 walk. There, Lindor 2 for 3 against him with a double and an RBI. For our guy Quintana, obviously he has more appearances against the Nationals, but once last year, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. Once in 2022, actually no, 3 times in 2022. He dominated them twice with 5 innings, 1 earned run, 6 innings, 1 earned run. So yeah, he's pitched well against the Nationals here. The only guy that hits him on the Nationals thus far, Nick Senzel, 18 at-bats, 7 hits. Jesse Winker, 200 batting average. Lane Thomas, 250 and 8 plate appearances. So that's nice. And then CJ Abrams, 0 for 2 against them. Luis Garcia, by the way, hit, I believe, 2 home runs yesterday. He's 1 for 2 against them. I don't expect him to do any of that today because, we all know that. And by the way, Billy Friedrich, good note. Jake Irvin's ERA at home, he's saying 2 innings high or 2 earned runs higher.
Yeah. No, we've and it's still not horrible. 4.36 ERA. It's a lot of rinky-dink hits off of him.
At least it's 33 innings pitched to 65 on the road. So I think that hopefully, for my case here, I think that will even itself out, or that'll lower itself if he's the guy that I believe he is, with more innings pitched at home.
Well, I bet it. So I'm in.
What do you think, Jimmy? Real quick, 4.5 even money or 5 minus 135?
Oh, that's expensive.
Yes, it is. It's a big difference as well.
But having that push is really helpful. God, that's all.
I would be
can't.
safe. I'll be safe.
I don't know. That's really expensive to be safe.
Here you go, Pete, wherever you are.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
Okay, I'm in. First three under. I mean, I've sent it in, but I haven't tweeted out. I'm tweeting out right now. First three under 2.5 at minus 105. Isaiah Scurry on the Yurfie. Slatsy on the Nerfy. By the way, Slatsy, because we're going through the whole MLB card first because we have all this afternoon action. Slatsy, I did move on the under 48 in the Argos game. Argos Roughriders. 13 of their last 14 meetings have gone over. And I moved on the under 48. And I'll break that down fully, when we cap CFL, which will be after Copa, the one Copa game, Ecuador, Argentina.
Yeah, very important game for both of us.
Very, very, very. So we have cappers on either side of the fence here. Cal 707 in the house says, anybody be cashing with this Mets team total over? Yeah, it would, and Billy Frieda. And I wish I had only moved on that yesterday. I was watching when Scott allowed that 3-run homer. He was in complete control there. He needed one pitch to get out of that inning. And serious problems. Okay, so there we go. Shout out to Chill Will and our guy Lil Domo in the building. Happy Independence Day to all of you guys. So our first game is in and will allow us to live bet the game as we go. So we are in. That feels good. That feels good. Sometimes you come in 50 minutes early and you don't have, and you let it go or whatever. But I feel fine with my action. I'm ready to go to war with my action.
Yeah, no, I ate the juice there. So, and by the way, shout out to Rem Most, who said that I would pass. Suck my balls, Rem. How about that, Rem? How about that?
Don't get Rem started. Don't get Rem started.
I'll rev up the engine here before 10 a.m. I don't give a fuck.
Don't put gasoline on that fire. But I love Rem. Okay, so let's start copying and pasting action. Pig milk play of the day. What a performance from our friend Billy. I mean, we're talking 62 bets, and he's up 17.35 units.
Yeah, he got me in the fucking drink yesterday. I went head-to-head with him. Son of a bitch. They had traffic all day, Billy, you son of a bitch. So congratulations.
And don't forget, we need a birthday pick for our guy, Ron Crawford. 37 picks he's given us, and he's up 16.28 units.
37 dogs as well. So shout out to you there.
God, how impressive is our chat? Stacks play of the day. Juan Soto over 1.5 bases at plus 112.
Wow, well, now I have to listen to the game, don't I, huh? Fuck.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Bompolo on the Nats. Shout out to all of you guys here rolling with us. Let me see if I can get some more action. Speaking of our plays of the day in the chat, Mikey Money cashed the grandma is wearing your sister's panties play of the day. Cashed it and cashed the ribeye as well.
At what point does Mikey cut me into all this success that he's having since these graphics have come on, He
talks about it. He mentions it all the time, and he never mentions your name.
He's like, oh, these graphics are so great. Blah, blah, blah. 5-0 since the graphic. How about you send me a quarter here, Mikey?
Now, I did find them, though. That was my research.
Of course. Oh, you know what? And I pity that you had to do the research to make it. I thank you for your sacrifice. This is what we're saying here. You had to look through a Brazilian jungle. I understand.
Oh, but you did spectacular work with the product that I provided. Shout out to Gerald Jones, Fernando Mendoza, Swiggy, Kong, Series of Business. Gerald Jones says NFL opener 9 weeks from today. J Cop, James Parm, Skunt Blaster on the over 9 at minus 120. The spreadsheet play today is in. It is the Angels. And God, yesterday was irritating. I told you guys that I want to back Joey Estes on every single home start for the rest of the year. He was Greg Maddux yesterday.
Yeah, I bet the over, and he just decided to fuck me.
He was Greg Maddux yesterday, and I didn't get paid off for that. And the numbers obviously are going to decline once I do. So Rocco Rogers on Nemo over 1.5 bases. Nemo Lane Thomas parlay. Wine time on the under. Dabber Cadabra in the house. Nate Dogg, James Parm, Steve G. It's Ron Crawford's birthday today. We got Nate Dogg, Joseph Thompson, who's already on that over 9. Great to see all of you guys. Jay Cobb now, member of We Be Pubbing. We got Chill Will and Lil Domo in the house. Rem Most, Rocco Rogers. Great to see all of you guys. Isaiah Scurry has got that Yurfy in the house. Slatsy on the Nerfy. And we got Jay Peasy ready to rock. Jimmy doesn't watch movies, but Brazilian Adventures, however. We got Air Dog on Gunnar Henderson, 2 or more hits at plus 210 and a homer at plus 300. We got Matty Ice, Mr. Heat, who's also on that Yurfy with Isaiah. Brandon the Great, ready to go. A coin with the Mets in his pocket. Mikey Money on that under 9. So that's very helpful. So
1, 2, 3, first inning.
Joining us, Dominique Diaz.
1, 2, 3, top of the first inning, I should say.
Sorry?
1, 2, 3, top of the first inning for Irvin. He looked good.
Oh, that's what we need, baby. Oh, that's what we need. Now, we still need 15 outs. But I need 15 outs. But we are on our way here.
If you want to feel better, minus 122 for the under 4.5 now.
Well, the concern, and now this could change, but the concern for me was not Jose Quintana mowing down this Nat squad that struggles against lefties. My concern was Jake Gervin getting through the match.
Yeah, definitely Jake Gervin is the one that I'm more worried about, and that was a good sign. By the way, I don't even I'm not even mentally or physically ready for the time when baseball is still going and football begins. It's just even college. Jesus. I don't even want to think about that shit yet, Kong.
It's nothing. It's nothing. Trust me. It's nothing. I've been through this all. It's the end of March and the first 2 weeks of April. Well, MLB, NHL, and NBA are going. That's by far.
No, that's our pain period. But yes, no, I don't want to think about that yet, Kong.
All right. So those of you Nerfies and Yurfies, we're going into the bottom of the first in Washington. And God, is this not so much fun? Afternoon action. We're packed with action. Get ready to make some money today. And let's start right here in Mets Nats. Now, it's all baseball here because we got a ton of afternoon action. Let's get to work. Jose, 12:35 p.m. Eastern. The St. Louis Cardinals, 44-41. 20-23 on the road to the Pittsburgh Pirates, 41-44. 20-21 at home. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Shout out to our guy, Justin McKelvey, repping. Let's take a look at the weather here for this one.
Wow.
We have 82 Fahrenheit, feels like 86, 5.6 miles per hour out to left field. Goes from 5.6 to 7.2 miles per hour. I'm sweating buckets. I know the AC's on. I'm just so pumped up. Let's get into the line
going.
History here. Get into the line history here. Daryl Lyles in the house. He is on St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Nerfy. Palante versus Martin Perez. I found this game extremely difficult, but that's why we are here to talk these things out. Let's talk about the line. Opens up at plus 102 for the Pirates. The Buccos move to minus 106. 8 cents of movement towards the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's get to the total in this one. This total is sitting at 9, and it's juiced to the under. Now, this opened up at 8.5 at 7:39 p.m. yesterday, and it moved to 9 at 10:11 p.m. It was not a legit 9 until about 1 a.m. Now it's a juiced to the under 9. So we have a move to the under and an 8-cent move to the Pirates. Let's get into the cash flow here for this one. From a cash flow standpoint, we have 65% of the tickets and 91% of the cash on the St. Louis Cardinals. We've had an 8-cent move to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jose, I'm sure that piques your interest. On the total, we are sitting here with 91% of the tickets and 94% of cash on the over. Now it moved from 8.5 to 9 pretty briskly, but it seems to be kind of moving back towards the under now. So, and I think it is so much capping yesterday. It was the lack of sleep. Let me go through that total again. I think I kind of messed that up because when it moved to, oh yeah, so okay, sorry. So let me explain this once more. I kind of screwed this up. It went from 8.5 to 9 around 10 p.m. last night. Then at 1:30 in the morning, there was a big move to the over 9. So at that point, it was minus 109 to the over. Since then, it's come back. Sorry, I didn't explain that properly. So, Andre Palante, what the hell do we do with him? He's coming off a great start at home versus the Reds. No earned runs over 5 1/3, but he is a Jekyll and Hyde feast or famine pitcher. On the road, he's got a 4.91 ERA. Now, it's only 18 1/3 innings. He's only throwing 38 innings this year. He's walked 18 batters in those 38 innings. He's only allowed 3 jacks, though. 278 opponent's batting average on the road, 15 Ks, 8 walks. Then you have Martin Perez. Martin Perez comes off the IL. And if you could remind, I know I looked at it last night, but can you remind us why he was on the IL, Jose? 1-4, 5.28 ERA, 1.61 WHIP. He's not been very good this year. A 6-1 loss at the Braves. Why did he allow 6 earned runs to a Braves team that's not hitting? At home, opponents rating 303. Oh, we've lost Jose Bouquet. Okay, it was maybe I asked for too much there. Let's get to Martin Perez here. I just want to remember exactly. I don't think it was it an arm ailment or was it like a? Here we go. Martin Perez, IL. He was on the IL for. Here we go. Groin. It was not an arm. It was a groin. On May 28th, he went down with a groin injury. So, despite the market saying that the Pirates are live, despite them, so it was a groin injury, Jose. I went and checked. Oh, thank you, Jacob. Groin injury. Despite this line move towards the Pirates, I'm still hesitant because of Martin Perez. But Cardinals aren't hitting lefties. Maybe I should let go. I'm going to pull up what the Braves are doing to lefties because that escapes me right now. Cardinals are only hitting 228, 602 OPS versus lefties since June 1st. They're not hitting them. Pirates are even hitting better versus righties, even though they're not hitting 226, 655. The Cardinals have a huge bullpen advantage. And Truth Teller says it feels like a coin flip, and I don't need to be involved in that. Jose, take it away. I'm all ears. Cardinals, Pirates.
Yeah, I like the Pirates here. Like you mentioned, that line flip definitely interested me. I was looking at first 5, and I guess I need to look at the first 5 line specifically here. But Martin Perez pitches well against these Cardinals, and no one really hits him besides Matt Carpenter, who is not in the lineup. So I do like Martin Perez's chances here. 2023, his last outing against him, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run not earned. Specific batter versus pitcher here, Nolan Arenado, 12 at-bats, 12 plate appearances, 10 at-bats, only 1 hit, which was a home run, 2 walks there, hitting 100. Paul Goldschmidt hitting 125, 8 plate appearances, 1 hit. Wilson Contreras, 0 for 5. Brandon Crawford, 1 for 5. And really, there's no one else in this lineup besides Nolan Gorman, who, really scares me. So if you guys can get through Contreras, Goldschmidt, and Arenado like he can, seemingly, I think Perez is going to have a good start here today. So looking at a first 5 line here specifically as well, it kind of did the same thing as the full game line, but not as dramatic, I guess. Was a minus 112 opener for the Cardinals at Bet Online, and now it is minus 112 Pittsburgh here. And yeah, I wanted to avoid the Pirates bullpen because yesterday, let's just look. Yesterday, Aroldis Chapman threw 27, Colin Holderman threw 23, not Kyle Nichols threw 15, and Cameron, the guy whose name I can never pronounce, Mlazinski, I think his name is 9 through 9. So I don't expect Chapman to be available, honestly. And Holderman, Nichols, maybe, but like this bullpen does not inspire confidence really past Chapman, and even Chapman doesn't inspire confidence, as we all know. And then for the Cardinals here, they're pretty fresh. Hensley didn't throw yesterday, and available here. So I do like the Pirates here, but I think I'm just going to take them first 5.
I'm going to join.
By the way, no runs in the first inning.
We were very fortunate. I didn't see what happened. I know that it must have been a double play and strikeout, but the guy got on and then stole second, and he could have got to third possibly if there wasn't a really nice backup of the stolen base. Line drive down the inning. So we were quite fortunate there. Yeah, I agree with you. So what we're saying here is, by the way, I just went on to 365 after Kelly McKinnon said that something's up with the site right now. So I've got to send an email now saying, everything's action today. Unfortunately, there's nothing else, no other way to put it, because the names are all messed up here. It feels like they got hacked. There's only a couple games that are right. It's an absolute mess with the pitching. So everything has to be action. So I'll send that in. Were you hoping for, because I am no cheaper. I'm no cheaper here first 5 than full game, but why would I be? I guess would be the sentiment. Perez has a 5.28 ERA and a 1.61 WHIP. We're banking on his veteran savvy here on Independence Day, and you trust it.
Yes. Yeah, I think, like I said, if you can get past Goldschmidt, Contreras, and Arenado, and he has a history of doing that, then this lineup's truly not that scary. There's only one other guy that really would worry me, and that's Nolan Gorman, and he is not even in the lineup, so I don't have to worry about it. So okay. Mason Wynn, I mean, yeah, obviously the obstacle here is get fucking the Pirates to score here. Here we go.
He's a quality individual.
Thank you, Mikey.
Quality individual. He's a quality individual. He's a guy. He's a politician, and he says.
Yeah, of course. I'm just waiting for my PPP from Sports Money. That's it.
Well, let's set this up here.
That's hilarious. That apparently Kelly's saying that Zach Greinke was listed as the starter for
all
Kansas
the pitchers have a Z or Z. I should say Z on July 4th. All the pitchers' first names start with Z.
Oh, really? So can you give us some good ones in there?
We got we just know Z Weiss, Z McKinstry, Z Remillard, Z Collins, Z Kelly, okay. Z Zenner, Z Thompson, Z Roscup, Z Godley, Z Matson.
I'm glad that Zach Godley got some love in there. Zach McKinstry got some love in there. Good.
So Pinnacle full games minus 106. First 5 are minus 101. They're not saying that. Does that make you uncomfortable or no?
A little. I'd rather there be, I'd rather it be more expensive first 5, obviously, but it has, this line has moved quite a bit at one point. It was full game wise for me, Jimmy. Let me pull it back up. At one point, it was plus 103 Pirates here, and then moved all the way to minus 107. So, if it was like minus 110 or what did I get here? I forget already. Minus 112 first 5 and plus 103 full game. That makes kind of more sense to me.
Wow, it's funny that BetOnline would have this 11 cents more expensive, minus 112 to the minus 101. Morgan Spooner says Pirates are bottom 5 in almost every statistic versus right-handed pitching. He's close to adding Cardinals full game money line. Trust your gut, trust your numbers. My numbers have the Pirates hitting righties quite a bit harder than the Cardinals are hitting lefties since June 1st. Morgan says, "Oh, you know what? Sorry, I missed this, and we must hit this up for our guy Morgan Spooner, whom we love capping with so much. Where is it here? Our guy Morgan Spooner. It's his son Wrigley's 6th birthday today. Morgan, shout out to your son Wrigley. What a cool
That's
name.
an awesome
6
name.
years old today. Shout out to the Spooner family, celebrating not only Independence Day, celebrating America, and celebrating Wrigley turning 6 today. Happy birthday to your boy, Morgan.
Morgan, I'm going to tell Helga today about Wrigley to continue bolstering my claims to Fenway.
That is a cool name. That is a very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
name.
By the way, Jimmy, the latest battle in that saga is that now she's saying it would be a horrible middle name for a girl.
What was that? Sorry.
Fenway being a horrible middle name for a girl.
Yeah, because they'll call her the Green Monster. What? Of course.
I didn't think about that. That I'm still 100% down for it, but that.
All right. Okay. Am I going to move on this Pirates first 5 right here?
Oh fuck.
Am I going to move on because we don't trust Palante? Okay, I'm going to think about it for a little bit longer. And then.
Yeah. By the way, I forgot to say this as well. Something that made me feel better about the Pirates hitting him. Palante this year so far, and I kind of agree. I think he's been a quality pitcher this year, but he has not followed up one of these 0 earned run performances with another good start. So let's start with Cincinnati. 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs. Next start against Houston at Houston. 3 innings, 6 earned runs. Okay, then he goes to Colorado or faces Colorado at home, pitches well, 5 innings, no earned runs. Great. Then he goes to Wrigley, 3 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. That's not the length they wanted, so he wasn't to go, and he got the loss there as well. Then after that, if you want to call that a good start, then he went 5 1/3, 7 hits, 5 earned runs against the Giants in his second to most recent start, and then followed that up with a 5 1/3 shutout. So I think this is just time for him to get touched up again.
Yeah. Let's see if I cash this first 3 and 2.5. If I cash, I'll move on it. You're
just going to roll it over? Little rollover challenge mid-show?
Well, no, it's only 238 because it's minus 105. It's not, I'm not, I'm going to stick to the unit size and all that. But I just, I'm close. And Jacob going first 5 minus a half here. Okay, I'm close, but we don't need to panic. I'm going to say that often on today's show.
Yeah.
There's an hour
and
and
it's
9
all
minutes.
for you.
Look, there are consequences to our actions.
Yeah, so you have a more elaborate process of sending your picks in to George. So
it's Dan.
Yeah.
All right, 1:05 p.m. Eastern. We have the Cincinnati Reds who've been very, very good to me the last couple.
Yeah, they've been great. Keep paying the Yankees.
Very, very good to me. Reds 41 and 45. Now I was safe as well with this action.
But also fuck the Reds for not scoring that 4th run. By the way, I had them team total as well. That was also a little annoying. So,
Big Scott says if you have 100 unit means you have a 20K bankroll. Big Scott, have you ever walked into a pool hall and thought, "Wow, that pool hall is in a higher tax bracket than me"? Or sorry, that pool table. This pool table right here is in a higher tax bracket than me. This pool table right here is making more money than me. Or have you ever walked by a hot dog stand and thought, look, this hot dog stand crushes me every day. This shit-ass hot dog stand destroys me every day. Are you less than that hot dog stand? I ask you that because when I have a local with credit, I can bet whatever the fuck I please. Is it dangerous? Yes. Could it cost me my family? Yes. Could it ruin my life? Yes. But that hot dog stand is not better than me. Okay, let's get back to work. Cincinnati Reds, New York Yankees, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Is my bankroll 50K right now? No. Does it feel like it is? Yes. Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. And that's all that matters.
Frankie Montas going up against Marcus Stroman. Let's get into the. That was a convoluted answer. I apologize.
Yeah, I was lost there for a moment, but you landed the plane eventually.
Did I land it?
You landed the plane. There was some turbulence. I was confused, but the plane was landed.
The first time I walked into a pool hall when I was a kid and thought about how much more money that pool table was making than me at my job, I was upset at the pool table. The pool table was in a higher tax bracket than me. That hot dog vendor. I remember when the first time the hot dog vendor goes, he goes, I make more money than your dad. The hot dog vendor said to me. And I was like, God damn. And he showed me a wad of bills. And I was like, good God, that hot dog stand makes a lot of cash. Is that hot dog stand better than you? Maybe. All right, Stroman 7-3, 3.29 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, 95 2/3, 70 Ks, 43 walks, and 12 homers. The strange thing about Stroman, he's a very emotional pitcher, and he's not being that good at home. 4.11 ERA, 2-2, 225 opponent's batting average. He's been much better, on the road. He wasn't very good in Toronto. Again, he's a highly motivated, emotional pitcher. I wonder here if the sold out Yankee Stadium on the 4th of July will have him too pumped up for the start. I know him so well. I've watched him so well. I still listen to his music, Jose, all the time.
Of course. Who doesn't?
Thank you, JPC. That's beautifully put. I need that on his shirt.
By the way, shout out to Chip Pilar for being a member. Shout out to you, man.
Yes, our guy Chip Pilar, for sure. So Wine Time says he'll be on the Yankees -1.5. Frankie Montas, 4.23 ERA, 1.31 WHIP. He was signed by the Yankees, and he was, as excited as he's ever been in his life. And he was horrific. And he got hurt. And when he got healthy, they didn't let him pitch. They wouldn't let him pitch. And he was healthy because they don't like him. And they were angry at him. He wants to destroy. See, Coin saying Montas revenge game. He wants to beat this Yankees team more than he's ever. This is probably. How about this? Would you say this is Frankie Montas's most important start of his career?
Yeah. I think he pitched in the playoffs with the A's, but since then, yeah.
He's coming off a great start at the Cardinals. He has been Jekyll and Hyde on the road. He's been Jekyll and Hyde this year. Yes, Big Scott.
Big Scott, that might have been the moral of the story. That might have been the moral of the story, Big Scott. Who's to say? To each their own perspective.
That's good, Big Scott.
I'd buy hot dogs from your stand, Big Scott.
Reds versus righties, 231, 696 OPS. Yankees versus righties, 241, 743 OPS. The Reds bullpen has been so much better than the Yankees bullpen, and we've seen it all series. Now, are they tired? This is a fascinating game to cap with so many ins and outs and so many possibilities here. Let's get into the line history. We have the Yankees right now. That's first 5. So let me go to full game. The Yankees right now -171. They opened up at -164. On the 4th of July, the Yankees are going to take a ton of money. This got up to -185 at 5:41 this morning, and it's come all the way back. So right now we have 7 cents of movement towards the New York Yankees.
Are the Yankees like Americana? Because is that facts?
Oh yeah, of course they are, man. The Yankees, you kidding me?
I didn't know.
This total opened up at 9 and moved to 9.5. It's not quite a legit 9.5, but it's there. Now let's get the cash flow up here for this one. 90% of tickets, 92% cash are on the over. 84% tickets, 85% cash are on the New York Yankees. Take it away, Jose, because I God, I want to romanticize Montas' start and think that Stroman kind of will be too amped up. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I want to do the same thing, if we're being honest. And by the way, JPZ is right. JPZ speaking facts. I would rather have a kebab grilled over a Brazilian river than a hot dog from a hot dog stand. Those are only facts. Those are only
Even if
facts.
it's Big Scott's hot dog stand?
Even then, sorry, Big Scott. That kebab it looks really delectable. Looks really the river looks nice too, nice and cold. I don't know. But yeah, there's all this money on the Yankees, and it really hasn't moved much, Jimmy. I mean, if anything, it's moved down. It opened up at 166, got up to minus 180 at one point, and then just trickles down, goes down to minus 170 now. Yeah, I kind of do want to bet the Reds again here, honestly. I love the Frankie Montas revenge game angle. The thing that's kind of worrying me, obviously, is the total went from a 9 juice to the under now to 9 juice to the over, and 9.5 starting to come up here, actually. So that's a little concerning because, who knows how Frankie Montas is going to do hitting wise, and if this turns into a slugfest, and I don't like my chances. But listen to this Yankees lineup. Ben Rice, Soto, Judge, obviously, Verdugo, Glaber, Volpe, Austin Wells, fucking Oswaldo Cabrera, and Trent Grisham. This lineup's Ben Rice is hitting leadoff. That guy's horrible.
Oh, I'm with Jake, though. Boiled hot dogs are horrible. New York does not do it right. New York, I don't know what they do. Everything else right except for hot dogs.
I don't know about any of these things.
How do you get through? Can Montas get through the first inning? Can he get through
just specifically the first inning?
It's just Soto and Judge. I mean, this is such a horrifically bad lineup. And then you have two monsters.
Yeah, and I would hope that the strategy is starting to come out. By the way, I hate to say this, but it does kind of make me laugh seeing Alex Verdugo just having all these opportunities and just nothing for him. Just weak contact every time. The last time he faced the Yankees was in 2022. Obviously, it's been a while. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs there. Before that was in 21, 7 shutty. He has seen Judge 7 times, 2 hits, a double. Has not seen good old Juan Soto. Alex Verdugo, by the way, the aforementioned, 8 plate appearances, 4 hits. Obviously, they're all singles aside from 1 double because he has 0 power. But even Jose Trevino, 5 plate appearances, 3 hits, and he sucks. So that's interesting. That's kind of worrisome here. I mean, this total has gone up pretty high, like I said. And the question is, who of these guys do you trust more if you're going to bet a side? Maybe we're just overcomplicating it. Maybe we should just bet a team total over here. I don't know. But, it's tough.
Yeah, let's just spend, because I haven't moved on this Pittsburgh spot either. This is a day 4 action. I shouldn't be too concerned here. Why is this not coming? Sorry, let me just see if I can get back to this. I want to go over this pitcher batter information badly. So let me just go over here and then we'll move. We're oh God, what's going on with my?
But while your computer loads, Justin McKelvey asking about a home run prop today. So I was looking around. Obviously, you know what I do, Justin. I just sort highest OPS and see who has it. Only 8 plate appearances, but if you want a little bit of a long shot, I guess, someone I'm sure has high odds, Brandon Drury on the Angels. 8 plate appearances, 4 hits, 2 home runs against JP Sears. Always interesting. Yordan Alvarez, another good one today, I'm sure will be popular. He has the most home runs against any pitcher today, or against his starter, against anyone. He has 20 plate appearances, 8 hits, 5 home runs against Chris Bassett, a 83 OPS. So obviously Chris Bassett is vulnerable, perhaps. Other than that, I'd probably, I think Yordan or Brandon Drury is probably 2 easy ones. So I would just roll with those 2. So there you go.
Wow. Listen to this. And the Reds at Pinnacle full game are plus 157. First 5 plus 131.
I mean, that makes you feel better, huh?
26 cents.
Middle of the third, still scoreless. Only one hit for each side so far.
So let's just go into this here. Wow. The first threes are always 2.5s. It's a 3.5 in this one over at 365.
That's worrisome. It feels like there's just going to be a shitload of runs, and if there's going to be a shitload of runs, then do I really want to trust Montas? Like, the reason I'd be backing the Reds is thinking that Montas can pitch well against his former club, and if it's going up, it doesn't seem like he is. So I'm off.
Jay Stone has some harsh words about old Frankie soft toss Montas. I am going to move on these two spots here. I have spent the entire Marcus Stroman career watching him and being a huge fan of him because he's little. He's a tiny little pitcher. His dad's a monster. His dad, speaking of 4th of July, his dad fought for the country, and he's just brick shithouse. And he just gets too amped up for these things. He just gets too amped up. Like he's going to be like he needs.
He's going to yell at Glaber again.
Okay. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till this first one. Okay. I'm going to move on the Reds first 5 plus a half. First 5 plus a half. That's at minus 105 at Pinnacle. And I'm going to move on the Pirates first 5. I'm going to give it a second here. I think I'll have added confidence if I can catch this first 3 under 2.5 and get the day started right. So I'm not going to send it in right this second.
I keep forgetting that you have first 3 and not first 5. So that's good.
Yes, I would very much like that to cash. Let's move on. 1:07 p.m. Eastern with the Houston Astros 44-42, 20-23 on the road. Toronto Blue Jays 39-47, 21-23 at home at Rogers Centre, Toronto, Ontario. Let's get into the weather here in Toronto. It's a gorgeous. I have no idea, though. I haven't been outside in at least 2 days. 78 Fahrenheit, 8.5 miles per hour out to right field. Gets up to 10.4 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history. We have a Woo Rizza in the house saying Bassett's been dealing. Bassett's been excellent. There's no doubt about how good Bassett has looked over the last little while. But this Astros lineup's very dangerous. This total opened up at 8.5, dropped to 8, got back up to 8.5, dropped to 8, 8.5, 8. Right now it's sitting at 8.5 with 1 cent of movement to the under overall since it opened. Let's get into the money line. On the money line, we are sitting here with the Jays at minus 108. There's been 9 cents of movement towards the Toronto Blue Jays. It's a bit of a surprise. Let's get into the cash here. You have 65% of tickets, 73% of cash on the Astros. This move to the Blue Jays. On the total, we have 94% of tickets and 95% of cash on the over. And there's been a 1 cent move to the under. Woo Rizza looking at Blue Jays first 3. And Truth Teller says Astros are number 1 in hits versus righties. And LJ from H-Town has the Astros, Blue Jays under 8.5. Says Astros 16-7-1 to the under as a road favorite. Gifted Cartel says, how much I hate to say it, he likes Toronto. And Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 base at even money and a walk and a Vladdy Judge hit parlay for Rocco Rogers. Morgan Spooner says the Jays bullpen major disadvantage here. The Astros' best arms are all available and fresh. So let's go. Framber Valdez, last start, he got touched up by the Mets. Now, the Jays are not the Mets. The Jays are hitting .225 with a .662 OPS versus lefties. His last start was ugly. 6 runs, only 3 of which were earned, but he only got through 4 2/3. He struggled on the road. 4.54 ERA, a .263 opponent's batting average, 33 Ks and 15 walks. Not the kind of K-to-walk ratio we're used to from Framber Valdez. Chris Bassett coming off an excellent start at home versus the Yankees. He's rolling right now. 3.24 ERA, 1.37 WHIP. At home, he's got a 3.51 ERA, and opponents are hitting 269 against him. Listen to this, Jose. In 6 June starts, he's 2-0 with a 1.95 ERA. He's allowed 1 home run in those 37 innings.
Trade value.
Astros are hitting righties. Jays aren't hitting lefties. Astros bullpen's much better than the Jays. Nate Dogg 420 in the house. Says Toronto money line. Bassett over strikeouts. Let's take one last look at that cash flow. Again, 94 and 95 on the over. 65 and 73 on the Astros. Jose, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Jays did stick out here, but I think this is a first 5 under spot, really. So I saw a couple of comments in the chat, and shout out to you guys. I think Jordan has homered in 2 or 3 straight games now. I mean, just look at this Astros lineup. I think this Astros lineup falls right in category with the Yankees. Altuve, Bregman, Jordan. Really good. Awesome players. From then on, you have Yanier Diaz, who's okay. John Singleton. Jeremy Pena has not been good. Joey Leperfivo, or whatever his name is, he's young. Don't trust him. Dubon and Trey Cabbage. It's not a very scary lineup. Not a very scary lineup after those 3 guys. I'll throw Yanier Diaz as a 4th that can hurt you, but I definitely can see a first 5 under here, and I think Bassett can savvy his way around Jordan. And I'm sure, again, he knows. Of all people, he knows that Jordan Alvarez has those numbers against him. So if he leaves anything to Jordan, he's going to hit it. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if he just pitched around him and got his way through this lineup that way, because Yanier Diaz is not really that good of a backup or protector, I should say, for Jordan. Truly, he's let me see. I'm wanting to see what he's a 104 weighted runs created plus so far this year. It's barely above average. So first 5 under here for me. Shout out to you, Dunkaroo.
Dunkaroo. You never ate Dunkaroos growing up?
I don't know what those are. What is that?
Just a little kind of a cookie biscuit that you would dunk in some sort of fake chocolate.
I don't
shout
like
out
chocolate.
to Dunkaroo. Now remember, we be pubbing in Old E. Our guy Old E working hard today, working on the property, got us on, gifting 5 Pub Sports Radio memberships. What a guy Old E is, man. Now Dunkaroo, he dunked toes in college.
Dunkaroo is a human.
Speaking of college and dunking hose, I sold pizza dogs. $2 a pizza dog. A little spaghetti sauce, mozzarella, my microwave, and I was firing hot dogs out of my room like crazy. I made so much money. I also gained a ton of weight, and I ate about 4 or 5 a day. But I sold pizza dogs. That was my big move. $2 a dog. Who wants it?
So you were indeed the hot dog stand man once.
I was. Yeah. I mean, my that was back in the day. It was 1997. So, everyone could chain smoke inside.
Well, that was a good year. Really good year in 97. You know what I was doing in 97?
What were you doing?
Being born.
That was the year you were born? That was first year university for me, 97. Okay, let's get back here and stay focused. First off, we took a liner off of the arm here, not the pitching arm, but very, very. You hate seeing that when the pitcher's in control and Quintana takes
he grazed him, but we're good. We're still good. By the way, first 5 under 4.5 minus 120. I don't love taking minus 120 totals, but all the money on the over hasn't really moved much. 2 really good pitchers under.
Lil Domo, also born in 97. Shout out to Jose Sierra. Jay Stone said, Dunkaroo's taking a shot of whiskey, dipping your head in a bucket of cold water, and as soon as you raise your head up, the last person who did one slaps you in the face.
What?
I like that. We used to do the slap circle, take a shot and slap the person in the face beside you. Those were good times. Okay, we got through it. So I'm 1-0 on the day.
Ooh, that was close. By the way, Toronto against lefties from June 1st to today, they are 21st, 90 weighted runs created plus. I've been splitting it down to the 16th or the 15th of last month to today to just get a little bit of a closer sample size, or perhaps. And they are hitting them a little better, but it's only 91 plate appearances, 132 weighted runs created plus. So that is a little bit of a concern, but I'm going to put my faith in Framber Valdez, a lefty that I enjoy, obviously, and believe in. And coming off of a shit start, too. So,
let's go into this situation here. I'm sorry we're taking a little bit extra time, but this is crucial. I'm close to leaving this game alone because I cannot trust those Blue Jays sticks, even though Vladdy's starting to deliver. I just can't.
All-star starter.
Well, of course, he's Vladimir Guerrero. I mean, everyone loves him, loves the kid, But
yeah, like Jerkson Profar, all-star starter, fucking crazy.
Huh. Look at these road starts. Some are good. Some are. You know what? I can't. I can't do it. I do think that your under probably has legs. It probably has legs. Let's just go back to it quickly here. I was thinking of the Blue Jays are minus 117 on the first 5, minus 1. I mean, Bassett is expected to pitch well here. I want to just look at what's going on with this first half total here. First 5 total. So at Pinnacle, it opens up at 4.5. It drops 4, comes back to 4.5. Still being 14 cents of movement on the over. And Truth Teller expecting Bassett to go back to his May form, not his June form. And that's totally valid. It is consecutive home starts. He is certainly in a rhythm, but this is a dangerous team he's going up against. And then going to the total, we have 94 and 95 on the over. Okay. I will. Look at that. Morgan Spooner says in high school I had to buy Buddy's mom a new food processor after we used hers for shredding up mushrooms. Put them in warm hot chocolate and let them cool in ice cube trays. Top 5 life investment.
Wow.
I'm interested right away. Okay, so Jose, I've got to make some moves here. So why don't you set up this? Oh, your grandma. Oh, look at that. Your grandma is wearing your sister's panties again. Play of the day's Toronto in the over 8.5. And this is grandma that's cashing and cashing and cashing. So your grandma is wearing your sister's panties again. Play of the day is in, and it cashed yesterday. And let's copy and paste that. Blue Jays money line for wine time. I don't dislike the Blue Jays money line. I don't dislike any of it at all. In fact, there's nothing on the screen that I dislike here. I'm interested in everything.
Have you by the way taken a gander at that certain site of this page?
What's that?
Have you taken a look?
Oh God, you're the man. I was gonna ask, but I thought, you know what? I don't want to put too much pressure on you. I know you were at the horse track last night. Oh God.
I was.
Okay, no, I'm not going to talk about it right now. I got to get this action in. I got to stay focused here.
Sure.
But let's just get a little taste of what Jose's got for us. I mean, that's not your best work, Jose. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, she seems friendly, but I wouldn't say that.
She definitely seems friendly.
Yeah.
She has some stories.
Okay, we're gonna try another one. Here. Let's. Oh, good God. Jesus. Wow. Happy Independence Day. Good God. I mean,
what is there to say?
Wow.
What is there to say?
She knows it too. That's the most confident woman I've ever seen in my life. I mean, she just knows what she's got. She knows what she's got.
Nuke Worker knows.
Okay. Jose. Whoa, Billy doesn't like it. Billy does not like it. Okay, well, don't worry,
Wow.
Billy. There's
Truth
more.
Teller doesn't like it either, apparently. He's trying to say it's AI generated.
Yeah, I don't like the short haircut. I don't like that. I don't know.
That doesn't interest you?
No, is that black lipstick?
Yeah, it is. I think. Yeah.
So she's what? She's a man-looking goth with beautiful tits. I don't know.
I guess so. Who knows?
I don't know. Let's get back to work here. There's more here.
Sure.
There's more coming. There's more action. Okay, but let me get my action in. So, Jose, Boston Red Sox, Miami Marlins, Slick Nick Pivetta, take it away.
Yeah, let's talk about it. And by the way, shout out to Brian Bayo yesterday for finding some form yesterday. I think he will start pitching well again. He's starting to throw his four-seam fastball again that Andrew Bailey kind of outlawed, and they're like, all right, throw it again. And now that he did a good start, I expect him to throw it some more. So Nick Pivetta here. Very interesting. Obviously the issue with Nick Pivetta will always be home runs, but the Marlins are not an offense that will really scare you here. He's on a slide of a few bad starts in a row after coming off the IL. He had a really good outing against Atlanta, and then since then it's just been 5 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs. He had snuck a Toronto start in there that was 7 innings, 3 earned runs, so that was good. But the rest of them have not been solid. Home road splits. For those who are interested here, I just hit stats instead of splits. Nice. Home, 5.52 ERA. On the road, 3.62. So very interesting. Getting out of Fenway, obviously, hitter-friendly ballpark helps him there. Now, we've got Kyle Tyler on the other side, who definitely does have the most creative player name in the major leagues out of Oklahoma. By the way, Oklahoma, unfortunately, starting to develop a lot of pitchers I like one Jake Irvin here also went to Oklahoma. But Kyle Tyler, Oklahoma guy, he has 3 starts in the majors here. Actually, I wouldn't even say 3. He has 2 starts, 3 appearances. His last one being on the 28th. 4 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run against the Philadelphia Phillies at the Phillies as well. This is not a guy that we expect, or I expect, to go very deep either. It's, his 4 innings, 4 2/3 last 2 times. If he goes 6, I'd be pretty surprised. So I'll probably go 5 innings at the most here. And the Marlins bullpen, let's look at it here. They've definitely got a lot of bodies in there, but Huascar Brazoban, 39 pitches yesterday. He's not going to go. Declan Cronin threw 38 yet Tuesday. He's not going to throw. JT Chagua threw 37 on Tuesday. He's not going to go. Anthony Maldonado threw 28 yesterday. I'd be surprised if he went. So that leaves Calvin Fauché, maybe, who threw 18 on yesterday. I kind of expect him to be ready to go. Anthony Bender, who's solid. Andrew Nardi, AJ Puck, and Tanner Scott left in that bullpen. Names that do not scare me if I'm a Red Sox fan. I do think that this is a Red Sox victory, but minus 150 is a little steep. A little steep for me to try to bet on here. You guys know my feelings on minus ones. 82% of the money and 95% of the bets, or excuse me, backwards there. 82% of the bets and 95% of the money on the Boston Red Sox here. Interestingly enough, though, this opened up at minus 153. It is now down to minus 146 at BetOnline. So very interesting there. A little reverse line movement on the Boston Red Sox there. And the total in this game, by the way, we did have that yesterday, I believe, as well, and it didn't matter. But just make your notes wherever you can. 94% of the bets and 91% of the money on the over in this game. This opened up. I have first 5 up, so let's pull up a first game here. For first game here, this opened up at 8.5 minus 117 to the under at BetOnline. Now we're getting an 8. The over is juiced minus 118, but it's very interesting here. It's probably going to stay out this game as well. I find it hard to bet the Red Sox in these big favorite prices, especially on the road. But I'll stay off. I think Nick Pivetta pitches well here. Red Sox continue to stay hot and win this game.
Okay, I'm in, by the way. And also the Pirates went from minus 1 up to minus 107 first 5, and then back to minus 106. So there's some movement there, at least in the direction of the Pirates first 5. I took the Reds first 5 plus a half, minus 105. And I took the first 5 under 4.5, minus 115 in the Houston Toronto game.
By the way, best bet, Toronto Blue Jays for old BJ.
Yeah, Ken, we've been talking about all the Z's out there. Yeah, I love seeing that. I love seeing that. So I'm locked in here, and this is a tricky spot. Here. Let's discuss it a little bit. And you had a great breakdown on it. I just want to go over the numbers for me. Your So were you surprised that this opened at 8? I was a little surprised. I know some books open at 8.5, but this is opened up at 8. Pinnacle. Then it goes up to 8.5 and comes back. So there's been no movement on the total with Pavetta and Tyler. I had
this opening up at just 8.5 and then just going down to the 8. I don't have the 8.5 again yet, which is interesting.
Kyle Tyler was very good at Jacksonville in AAA, and he's been quite good in 10 2/3 in the major league level. Last year, he was in AA, didn't look good. Came up and for a cup of coffee with the Padres. He's highly traveled. This was not a highly thought of prospect, 20th round pick, and he's come together. And then on the money line here, and I apologize if this is a repetition here. I just want to get a look at it here. So the full game money line, Red Sox. You said they were minus 170.
No, they were minus 150, and they're minus 143.
Yeah. Oh, minus 1. I got minus 146.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. The Bet Online, or not Bet Online, excuse me, Action. I don't know where they get their openers from, but they have the Red Sox opening at minus 176. I just choose not to really listen to their openers, really. So I just go off of Bet Online's.
94 and 91 on the over, no movement. 82 and 95 on the Red Sox, moving to the Marlins. Wow. Okay,
yeah, and I get it. A home team of trying to avoid a sweep. Makes sense.
Shout out to Razor Sharp Picks. We also have Stacks rolling with us. So, this. So why would you think Slick Nick's going to have a good start here? Just get a bounce back spot against the Marlins team that's horrific against righties?
Yeah, and he's better pitching on the road here as well. There's no one on the Marlins offense that I think should give him trouble. Jazz Chisholm, Brian Dela Cruz, Josh Bell, Jesus Sanchez, Jake Berger. I cannot say, I should say, never mind. I was going to say Xavier. It is Xavier. Vidal Brujan and Emmanuel Rivera, Ali Sanchez. The bottom half of that lineup is horrific. But yeah, I just think Pavetta just can be good enough here to battle and pitch against the Marlins offense that against righties last half month, like you mentioned, they are the worst team against them, 68 weighted runs created plus.
I'm going to stay off of that one. I got to get I'm sweating buckets. I know we have action, but I've cashed. Wouldn't you think that the sweating would stop if I've cashed? I got to turn up the AC. Thank you for sharing your Delaware card. Razor Sharp Picks in the house, giving us an entire Delaware card here. And look, says no more betting on Naira on TVG. Wow. TVG, FanDuel, and Naira contract terminated. Wow, that's wild. Absolutely wild. Jose, set us up for White Sox Guardians. I will be right back.
Go ahead. So we've got Los Guardians here and Ben Lively. Ben Lively, a guy that I trust pretty well, but I think the moral of the story here is Jared Schuster getting the start here. Traded, obviously, from Atlanta, and he has mostly been a relief pitcher this year. Let's bring up his game logs here. So he has gone most 3 innings this year so far, 3 1/3. But he's been, really solid. He went 3 innings, no earned runs again in Atlanta. I'm sure that felt really good for him going against his old team. 2 2/3, 1 earned run against Detroit at Detroit. He's just been a good reliever here, and let me refresh here my RotoWire because.
Do you think that Jared Schuster, Bichette being scratched, a big move, probably I know helps our under really. You know what? Maybe it does because I don't trust him in the field. but his hitting has been so poor. This is a bullpen day, wouldn't you think, for the White Sox? I mean, do you think
Yeah,
Schuster?
this is Schuster for 3 innings at most, 3-4 innings at most. But they don't have a primary listed, so it is just going to be. There's no one really that he's their long guy, so we'll expect 1 innings from everyone else. By the way, bullpen wise, Tanner Banks has thrown back-to-back days. I'd be surprised if he threw. Michael Kopech available, and everyone else, I guess, is going to be available. So Kopech, Steven Wilson threw 11 yesterday. Baribia didn't throw yesterday. Justin Anderson threw 8. Soroka is the other long guy in this rotation, or in this bullpen, I should say, and he hasn't thrown since Sunday. So I expect him, if there's going to be another guy piggybacking Schuster, it'll be Soroka.
And Justin saying that Bichette 0 for 11 against Framber anyways here. We got Max bet in from Lamont as well. Lamont saying Minnesota on the run line, and he's parlaying Minnesota, Cleveland, Yankees, and the Phillies. And LJ talking about Ben Lively here. 2 earned runs or less, 10 out of his last 13 starts. So let's touch on the weather here, Jose. We have 80 Fahrenheit, 4.6 miles per hour in, and then it becomes right to left, but it's very meek. And it's not that hot. It's cooled down a little bit in Cleveland. We have Jay Kopp. If your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle. Play of the day. White Sox minus 1.5 at plus 295.
It's a lot to type out, Jay Kopp, every time. It's a lot to type out.
You can do it. I don't see why you can't do it. And you know what? Let's celebrate if his aunt had balls play today. Let's celebrate this.
How are we going to do that? I'm very interested.
Now, this one's a little hard to believe.
Well, what do you mean?
She's very athletic. She's an extremely athletic older woman. But I find myself interested right away.
I mean, 5 fingers.
Yeah, that's but that right hand is very big. It's a it's a huge right hand. But she's a volleyball star, and you need
she needs that just
big old mitts.
You know, I'm sure a lot of people would love those big old hands on their face. Feel those wrinkles. A lot of people would like that.
I'll pass. I don't want my face touched. All right, let's move on. Shout out to Jay Kopp, though. White Sox on the run line. So Schuster has been good. It is a bullpen day. Let's talk about Ben Lively. Ben Lively, 3.03 ERA, 1.16 whip. He's been very good this year. His last start, 2-1 loss at the Royals, wasn't on him. Quality start, 2 earned runs over 6 innings, 5 strikeouts. And at home, he's been lights out. Lights out. White Sox rating righties a little better, 221, 648 OPS here. And from Robert Franklin looking at Lively over 5.5 hits. White Sox bullpen continues to improve, 4.30 ERA and a 1.33 whip now. And the Guardians bullpen 2.80, 1.16 whip. So this is an interesting one. We have the Guardians sitting here at minus 216. They opened up at minus 241. So we have a big move towards the White Sox. So if there's a big move to the White Sox, they probably think the bullpen day is going to go okay. We can imagine that Ben Lively will be okay. There's been a 9-cent move to the under. What do you think of this under here, Jose?
It's scary to try to bet on Schuster and this White Sox bullpen, honestly. I don't want to even try to begin to know what they're going to give us. You're just playing bullpen roulette. I like Lively. I expect him to shut them down, but basically you're kind of hoping the White Sox get shut out by the Guardians here. Because even if it was a 7-2 ball game, fuck she here. And I could easily see the White Sox giving up a bunch of runs.
You went over all of the bullpen for the White Sox. Kopech good to go.
Yeah, everyone's good to go besides Tanner Bank. He threw back-to-back days. He didn't throw that many pitches, but again, managers typically try to keep away from using relievers 3 times, unless you're the Nationals. So he'd be the only one that I have semi-question marks on, but everyone else, Kopech, Wilson, Baribia, all will be available.
Wow, look at Mikey Money. Road teams in the last game of the series of a tied divisional series are 15-2 if the total is at least a 9. Huh. This one is this one's interesting. I mean, it's fair for us to expect Lively to pitch really well here. And I mean, wouldn't we want it? Isn't with the improvement of the White Sox bullpen? I mean, doesn't this sort of fit the circumstances that we're looking for?
I just don't think that the White Sox bullpen, like the improvements or whatever they made, I don't think they're real. I guess I just looked up. In the last month, they've had the fifth best bullpen in baseball. 100 innings pitched, 1.4 WAR. Their ERA is a 4.3, but like I said, having a good WAR as a bullpen is pretty impressive. They have a 3.5 FIP as well, so it's very interesting at least. But I still think that this White Sox bullpen is going to come in and implode again at some point. So, and the Guardians are good enough to do it. So I just didn't want to trust them. And again, you're hoping basically that the Guardians shut out the White Sox. Could happen. Definitely could happen.
I think the under's live here. Of course, I'm going to have to move on this here while the show is on. I'm going to sit with it a little bit longer. Mikey Money's coming in with the White Sox in the under 8.5 at plus 450. Robert Franklin on the White Sox first 5 money line. And Morgan Spooner says White Sox bullpen doesn't provide confidence. We've been on the other side of this morning because you were astonished when TJ and I were talking about the improvement of the White Sox bullpen. So, and that's totally valid. Cameron Sinan says, I can't back the White Sox here. Good luck. Okay, I'm really interested in this under 8.5 and expect to move on it. Jared Schuster's K to walk ratio is a problem. He hasn't started the game all year. Is he the problem? Even though we like him? Has he started the game all year?
No, this will be his first. Yeah, he doesn't really strike out many people.
No, and 21 Ks, 16 walks. That's not what you're looking for. It's not what you're looking for a bullpen piece at all.
No. And then Soroka, like I said, if there's going to be another long guy, it's going to be Soroka. And Soroka does not inspire confidence in the least.
Cleveland first 5 for Matty Ice. Yeah, the bats are better, no doubt about it. Okay, I'm very interested in the under 8.5. We'll talk more about it here shortly. Let's move to a game I did bet. Obviously, one of the problems in my capping baseball is that I love the sport. And I love Rebenga. I romanticize situations, and it probably negatively affects my capping. I'm backing Montas, to show the Yankees what he could have provided had he been healthy. Look, and I know he's a PED guy and all that stuff, and I'm backing Kenta Maeda against his old team, the Twins. Now, I'm not backing the Tigers to win this baseball game. Bailey Ober has been so good. And been so good. So what I need is Maeda to be okay. Okay. I need him to get through this lineup one time. So I moved on the first 3 under 2.5 at minus 110. And I moved on this last night. And I spent a long time on this ball game. And I moved on it. And I was trying to figure out how to hammer it. Right now, the first 3 under 2.5 is minus 125. So I beat that move by 15 cents. I beat it by 5 cents when I woke up this morning. And Maeda's been better. So let's go through this spot here. Detroit Tigers, 39-47, 20-25 on the road. Minnesota Twins, 48-38, 24-17 at home. We're at Target Field, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Weather-wise here in the Twin Cities, 71 Fahrenheit, 5.7 miles per hour, right to left, slightly in. Stays between 6.1 and 4.3. It's not a big deal. Let's get to the line history here. This total is it's dropped. it's everything I'm looking for, really, except for the first time that it went down to 8, which was at 140 this morning. It opened up at 8.5 at the pick'em. It got back up to 8.5 around, between 4 and 8 in the morning. Then it got back to 8, then 8.5. We've been bouncing back and forth. Now it's at 8. Not only is it 8, but it's 107 to the over, 105 to the under. So it's a legit move to the under, which I like. On the money line here, we have Ober and the Twins at minus 168. They opened up at minus 161. I thought about backing the Twins on the minus 1 line. It got up to minus 181. Maybe I should have. Paul Thompson, I hope soon, my man. Great to see you, Paul Thompson, a great thoroughbred capper here from the UK in the house. I hope soon, Paul. I certainly miss it. But I mean, I've been going up to Woodbine, but I certainly miss the live shows with you guys.
Yeah, there is some weather in this game, unfortunately. It is
the weather stopped. If you refresh
good.
it, let me go to now the rain's supposed to come in after a few hours, but even that looks like it stopped. Let me go to a straight weather report because this was an issue on, and that was part of the reason why I took the first 3 too, was because there was a rain supposed to come in after 2 hours. It doesn't say that anymore on Swish. So let's just go to an actual weather report here. I think we get through this fine.
I'm going to join you on the first 5 under.
Well, I'm only on first 3, but then it is still correlating action.
Yeah.
So here we have 96% of tickets, 95% cash on the over. And on the money line, 83% of tickets, 93% cash on the Twins. Oh, wow. Horseshoe Indianapolis canceled due to rain. Paul, you're the man. You're the man, dude. Young Native says, who else waking and baking? You're in the right. You're home. Young Native, you're home. You got that smoke in the air. So let's talk about Kenta. He's been bad this year. 5.76 ERA, 1.42 whip. And I've had a very tricky time in his career figuring out when he's going to be okay. But that last start at the Angels was good. 5 1/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 4 Ks, 1 walk. He's been horrific on the road. 25 1/3, 324 opponents batting average, 9 walks, 25 1/3. But do I really expect him to be so horrible? And there we go. Gambler's first glance is Detroit. Minnesota under 8 at minus 105. So we have the Gamblers first glance in. Jose's moving on the first 5, and I bet that first 302.5 at minus 110. It's now at minus 125. We have razor sharp picks moving here on the Gamblers first glance on the under here in Detroit, Minnesota. Now, the Minnesota Bats are a problem. 268, 790 OPS, first righty since June 1st. Can Maeda get through that? He wanted to be re-signed with this baseball team. They didn't want him. Tigers are just 204, 613. And this Twins bullpen is 0.99 runs over 9 innings better than the Tigers bullpen, who's improved. So any final notes here, Jose, on this Tigers Twinkie spot?
Nope. I'm just on the first 5 under here, 4.5 minus 120.
And Matty Ice saying this first 5 under is a smash spot. Okay, so that concludes the 1:10 p.m. games. So why don't I set up the next game, because this is another spot that I've moved on. And focusing on the home and road splits has not really helped me that much in the last little while. And it didn't really help me yesterday, or it hasn't helped me this week, even though last week was magic. And we got Paul Thompson moving in Perth, Galileo, around 7-2 or 9-2-ish right now on the track over in Australia. BJ's on the Cubs money line. I moved on the Cubs first 5 in this one. And Christopher Sanchez, we faded Gavin Stone yesterday after his completo shutout. And I'm doing the same thing to Christopher Sanchez. And there's some similarities here. The one with Sanchez is that he's been unbelievable, unhittable last 2 starts. And he's not been great on the road. In 33 1/3 innings, Perth, Scotland. Thank you, Paul. My bad. Thank you. That's important. 4.32 ERA on the road, 302 opponent's batting average. He only has 21 strikeouts over 33 in the third and 15 walks. So Robert Franklin trusting Sanchez here. And you have every right to trust Sanchez. He's been pitching spectacular. But I love the idea. I love that we succeeded against Gavin Stone yesterday. So I have a bias. I'm doing it again here. And he's not been very good on the road, but the Cubs don't hit lefties, 226-45 OPS. And then Jamison Taillon has been very good at home. He's been very good pitching this year altogether. 3.03 ERA, 1.24 whip, 74 and 30, thrown 58, strikeout 17 walks. His last start, he allowed 3 earned runs over 6 innings in Milwaukee, a team that's hitting okay. At home, he's got a 2.97 ERA over 39 and a third with 38 strikeouts and 9 walks. Now, the Phillies hit righties 274, 775, but Bryce not in that lineup. And I didn't need to necessarily focus on the first 5 alone. I could have done the full game, but I do have concerns about the advantage with the Philadelphia bullpen. So let's get into the weather here. We have 70 Fahrenheit, 6.1 miles per hour in. It dies down to 4.8. Not that big of a deal. And we have Noli Nose in the house with a skull and bones. Skull and bones from Noli Nose for Sanchez and Taillon. Taillon full game is at plus 109. Opened up at plus 116.
By the way, cash our first 5 as well. It went 0-0.
Yeah,
So.
and cash first 3 under 2.5. A no sweater cash. I hope it's a sign for what today will bring us, my friend. And thanks to everyone who ran with Jose and I on that one. Nice to start the day off with a casher. This total is at 7.5. There's been a 2-cent move to the under. That was 10 minutes ago that there was a 5-cent move to create this slight move to the under because there had been a slight move to the over. And then when we get to the cash flow here in this one, we have 80% of the tickets and 98% cash on the Philadelphia Phillies. 98% cash on the Phillies. And, this line's not moving towards them. It's moving towards the Cubs. 99% tickets, 96% cash on the over. I wonder if this is a move I should make with them on the under. It was, frustrating not cashing that under yesterday. If I had just taken both my totals in the first 5, they would have both cashed because I went 1-1 in them. So
yeah, I'm going first 5 here.
We'll take it away. I want to hear your breakdown. Phillies Cubs.
Yeah, first 5 under for me, minus 115. It makes a whole lot of sense. Cubs offense is meek and feeble. I don't really believe they can get to Christopher Sanchez much here. The difference is obviously, we talked about this frequently with Sharpie as well. He's not at home with his watered down infield that kills ground balls. Now I don't know what the Cubs infield is like. Admittedly, shout out to Sharpie, but I know that when he's at home, he's better, and he's got that infield to help him out here. But I still think that the Cubs offense is not good enough to put up a crooked number against him here. I don't trust the Cubs bullpen. Phillies bullpen obviously has been nice. So first 5 under here for me for minus 115. It was. I will also say I think we should just keep betting unders with this Phillies team with Harper and Schwarber gone. Like those are 2 very important pieces of their lineup. Maybe don't fade the Phillies every day, but just assume they're not going to be hitting as well as their numbers indicate because it's 2 huge pieces in their lineup. And even if you look at their lineup now, like we've done this a couple times on this show, Bryson Stott, the shortstop, Alec Bohm, Brandon Marsh, Castellanos, those guys, only really 2 of those guys really worry me. The shortstop has had a good game in the last week or so, and Alec Bohm is good. Other than that, it's nothing that you should really be too concerned about, in my opinion. So I do think Taillon has a good start here today. So first 5 under 4 here as well for me.
I'm interested in the first 5 under 4. I am. I just my concern with it is the reason why I'm on the Cubs is because I think Sanchez might be a little bit vulnerable here, and I need Sanchez to shove if I was going to be on the first 5 under 4, because Truth Teller has Phillies as his play of the day today. So Truth Teller not concerned about what Sanchez has done on the road this year, which is fine because the Cubs don't hit lefties. I can understand that. I am. But, I mean, if Tyon allows 2 runs over 5 innings, I would expect to have no chance at the first, or maybe a chance at a push for the first 5. That's what I mean. I'm gonna have to leave that. I'm gonna have to let it go. If it was a 4.5, I would take it. Mikey Money says Philly's gonna smack these boys as a JV versus a varsity matchup. So, Mikey back.
Well, who's the
Phillies.
JV? The Phillies JV? Why? This is half their team.
Well, I'm just gonna stick with this here. If this was a 4.5, I'd move on it, and I do have some interest in it. So I'm gonna put some question marks and some asterisks here. But I moved on the Cubs last night. So let's roll. George Wood thinking Marsh gets touched. I'm on Alec Marsh today. So, but that's all good to have a differencing of opinions. I'm going to move on this and Ron Crawford on the Chicago Cubs. That's not the spreadsheet play of the day dog from our guy, Ron Crawford, on his birthday. So, Jose, let's go into this next spot. But I would like to move on the Chicago White Sox, Cleveland Guardians under. So can you set up the Padres Rangers just so I can have that bet in?
Yeah, so we've talked about Max Scherzer a few times on the program here, and he definitely fell in my Justin Verlander bucket of me wanting to fade these older pitchers here. And you know, JV pitched really well, but then his neck finally gave out on him, I guess. I don't know. He's been on the IL for a while. And, you know, Scherzer pitched well against the Royals, 5 innings, shutout, 1 hit. And then against the Orioles, he still pitched pretty well, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs there on 1 home run. So it is, you know, kind of scary again to fade these guys that have been pitching for so long. We've seen them do so well, but 39 years old, I'm like, I don't know. But another thing is you have to, maybe I should wait a little bit more until he gets, I guess, tired, because he's only 3 starts in and there's no real exhaustion yet there for him. Let's go to the markets here first, and then we'll talk about Michael King, who's coming off of a very good start in his own right as well. The Padres and Rangers here, only 28% of the bets on the Padres, but 58% of the money on them. So you can see those sharp bets on them here. This opened up at -129 at our friends at Bet Online. This is all the way down to -112 now. Jeez.
Wait, say that again, Jose.
There's sharp money on the Padres here. 28% of the bets, 58% of the money on them here. This opened up at minus, and I refreshed to make sure here. Sorry, where are we? There we go, -129, and now we're at -112. So it's pretty crazy that it dropped down from, again, almost basically -130. Sorry, Helga's just here now and like just startled me for a second. So that got me there for a second. But yeah, this has dropped all the way down to -112. So the market's starting to react to that sharp money. I agree. I think that Scherzer is vulnerable here. But let's talk about the total here, which is even more interesting. 8. We had an 8 opener here. Now we're seeing 7.5s here, and in 8 -115 to the over is what it opened up at. Now it's 7.5 -120 to the under. So again, you could tell me that's an 8 of sorts, and I'll believe you, sure. But we have 98% of the money and 96% of the bets. Sorry, backwards again. I like doing that. 96% of the bets and 98% of the money on the over in this game. So that's very interesting. And Mikey said that, by the way, Action gets their openers from DraftKings, since they're apparently get out there first. And Action had this opening up at an 8.5, and we're all the way down to a 7.5. Bet Online only had this at an 8, and it moved down to a 7.5 here. So, Mikey, let me know if you had this at an 8.5, and I will move on the overs in this game. But I do think that Scherzer is vulnerable here today as well. Now let's go to our friend Michael King, who, like I said, had a good outing last time, I believe, against my Boston Red Sox, if that was his last one. Yep. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, home run, 6 Ks, 1 walk, a solid appearance for him, especially because the Red Sox saw him in New York as well, and that was bouncing back from 5 earned runs against the Milwaukee Brewers here. So who knows if he found something? I don't really trust the Rangers offense to do much, especially against righties, because they have been particularly bad. From July 15th to today, they are the 28th best offense, 80 weighted runs created plus against righties. I'd just much rather be on the Padres here. And that the line movement does make me feel better about it, moving on them.
Yeah, you have every right to feel. We'll shout out our guy Mikey Money's ribeye play of the day. It's back on that Phillies Cubs game in a second, but let's finish off here. I don't know exactly. Shout out to Rich H in the house as well. Great to see you, Rich. I don't know what to do with this spot. I was impressed with Scherzer's start against the Orioles. His first start was against the Royals, right?
Yeah.
Royals, and then the Orioles was impressive. The Padres are raking righties. I mean, it's hard to believe that the Padres right now feel so much better than the defending World Series champions. I know the Rangers are dealing with a ton of injuries. And Ron Crawford says Padres as a dog. I mean, it's pretty clear this sharp action towards the Padres, and this move to the under is monstrous.
And first 5, by the way, just specifically, this opened up minus 140 Texas Rangers. Now it's down to minus 117.
Wow. So a huge move towards King in the first 5. I guess because the Rangers bullpen's still better than the Padres bullpen. I mean, do you really trust Michael King that much? I mean,
really?
The Rangers bullpen 3.69 ERA, 1.31 WHIP since June 1st.
Wow.
Padres 4.21 ERA, 1.41 WHIP.
I mean, they're really not that different. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to take the Padres here. I'll take them full game. Very interesting there. Yeah. And by the way, ribeye play of the day is the shortstop for the Philadelphia Phillies. Congrats, Mike.
Wow. Very nonplussed about that shortstop, but I know what can fix all anger and sadness. Jeez. She's cooking for more than just her, we assume, right?
No, I think she slangs all that meat down at one go.
I'll say that again. And Morgan Spooner says Rangers money line without hesitation.
Wow.
Says King pitches better off an extra day rest. Rangers are against the wall with their best pitcher starting. Dunning took all the pitches yesterday, so the bullpen isn't taxed. I imagine that this would be a first 5 under situation but I mean this move is just being too big, even though all the money's on the over. I would have Dunkaroo 2828 says Max getting lit up early. I'm still in disbelief that Max is just going to come in here and just be, Cy Young winner.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm going to fade the old guys. Yeah, it's something. That's one of those things I came into the season thinking I was going to do. And again, mixed results, sure, but I still believe in it.
Okay, so what do you want in this one?
I was trying to decide first 5 full game, and I trust the Padres bullpen enough to go full game. I need to actually look and see real quick to see who is available here, and it just kind of tacks Yuki Matsui through 24, Morejon through 16, Suarez through 14. So he'll be available, and Jeremiah Estrada through 10 yesterday, so he'll be available. So yeah, full game for me. I don't trust Max. I don't trust this bullpen. So go Padres.
Clear, really clearly feels like the sharp action, and Michael King pitching well on the road. 2.84 ERA, 5-2 on the road this year. 230 opponents batting average. You're going to get Padres full game at what price?
I'm getting plus 102.
Padres plus 102 here. Okay, I'm not sure what to do on that spot, and I'm not sure whether to move on the first 5 under 4.5 on the Phillies Cubbies spot. But I did move on that White Sox Guardians under 8.5. Got it minus 105 and got to send it in, which is a prior, helpful. It's minus 111 to the under at Pinnacle, so 6 cents cheaper at 365 is a bit of a surprise. Okay, I've got to figure out those 2 p.m. spots here, but let's move on to the next spot on the board. And Kong's Clips liking that over. First 5 over in that one. Angels, A's at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. When you don't back a pitcher that you really like, who's got inflated numbers, and he throws a Greg Maddux complete game shutout, it's pretty upsetting. Shout out to Joey Estes. He looked awesome. And now we have JP Sears, who had been scuffling, and he's coming off a quality start, one he desperately needed. He'd been pitching really poorly. Going up against Roensi Contreras, who's got a ton of ability, but isn't, going deep in the games. And the Contreras has only thrown 33 innings this year, so we don't want to put too much into the fact that they've been really cozy spots at home. He's only thrown 9 1/3 on the road, and he's been lit up and smoked. 6 earned runs in those 9 1/3, 11 hits, 282 opponents batting average. JP Sears hasn't been very good at home. Has he figured his stuff out after that quality start against Arizona? Because I lean towards the A's, and maybe the market will get me there. I'm not concerned about the Angels hitting lefties 227, 647. I imagine the Angels are pretty happy to see a lefty, though, and that was part of my concern after Estes shut him down, the righty. A's versus righties just 213, 616 OPS. Of course, these numbers are all since June 1st. The Angels bullpen 4.74 ERA, 1.30 WHIP have been struggling. The A's bullpen 4.13 ERA, 1.45 WHIP. Let's get into the weather here. The spreadsheet play of the day dog on his birthday is the Angels. Spreadsheet dog play day, and this has just been white hot. So there's no reason to go up against it here. I'll have to be really a ton of conviction to do that. Ron Crawford celebrating his birthday today. Shout out to our guy Ron. His play today has been spectacular, up 16.28 units on only 37 bets. I mean, how did you get better than that? Shout out to Ronnie. So let's touch on the weather here and the line history, and then hand it over to Jose. We have 77 Fahrenheit, so it's warmer than usual in the Bay Area. 9.4 miles per hour left to right across the diamond, between 9.4 and 10.2 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We're sitting at a 9 minus 108 to the under. This opened up at 8.5 and didn't move to 9 right away. It didn't move till 9 this morning. This did come out 7:43 p.m. last night at Pinnacle. Then let's go over to the money line. From a money line standpoint, we are sitting here. Here we go. From a money line standpoint, we're sitting here with the A's at minus 106. They opened up at minus 107, so no movement. And cash flow wise, 68% of tickets, 79% of cash on the A's. Line's not moving towards them. 95 and 95 on the total. It's gone up half run. I'm off. I'm going to pass on this one. Take it away for us here, Jose. Angels, A's at Oakland Coliseum.
I'm joining Ron Crawford and the Angels here. Shout out to you, Ron. Happy birthday. I can't not back the man on his birthday. So, Angels for me.
Angels, and what line are you getting?
I am getting minus 105.
Angels full game for Jose minus 105, and Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today is in. Swiggy saying that the Angels splits versus lefties are ugly. Sure, but the A's are worse versus righties than the Angels are against lefties. Now that's since June 1st. I'm going to stay off of this spot here. Shout out to Bankroll Spence. I'm that heat. Michael Buelna on Machado, home run against Scherzer. Machado 3 home runs this week. Scherzer, when he gets hit, it's the long ball that gets him. And Rocco on Merrill over 1.5 bases plus 110 home run plus 480. George Wood on the over 9 in that spot. Let's roll. Next up for us, 4:10 p.m. Eastern. What an ass clown I am on the Mariners' first 5 the last 2 days. I mean, I'm sitting here with this, it's just $400 on the Orioles to win the division. But who cares? I just gave that money back over 2 games, almost, no, more than that. I gave it back over 2 games. I mean, I guess not if it cashes at plus 140, but just ridiculous. When I know how good this baseball team is, what am I doing here, fading them? Here we are, Orioles, Mariners, T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. I like seeing Seattle lose. I mean, it helps the Astros. It just doesn't make sense. Michael Buelna on Baltimore, a double result here. True Teller says he likes the Mariners, but he's not moving on it. Corbin Burns versus Bryce Miller, and Bryce Miller's been lights out at home, like a lot of these Mariners pitchers have been. So let's talk about this spot. We'll start with the weather at T-Mobile. What a beautiful stadium that is. 67 Fahrenheit, 9.9 miles per hour right to left, slightly out, gets up to 10.5. Going to the line history here for this Mariners spot. Don't forget $100 horse race today, thanks to Preston Ekdahl winning on Friday. And I wouldn't mind if we have time maybe to do some heats. We'll see how much time everything takes. The Mariners are sitting here at plus 133. They opened up at plus 125. The Orioles have gone from minus 136 to minus 144, 8 cents of movement towards them. On the total, we are sitting here with a 7, like we've had all series long, and there's been 5 cents of movement to the under at 7. So a move to the Orioles and a move to the under. When we go to the cash flow, we have 85% tickets, 80% cash on the over. And we have 80% tickets, 87% cash on the Orioles. So, Corbin Burns, 9-3, 2.28 ERA, 1.03. He's been very good. His last start, 7 innings, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot. Did allow 9 hits, but gets out of trouble. It's 11-2 win at home versus the Rangers. Being very strong on the road. Now he's being lights out at home, but strong on the road. 4-2, 2.93 ERA, 189 opponent's batting average. Bryce Miller coming off not as strong of a start as we've seen from him. He's not being 3.88 ERA, 1.05 whip. He's got these wild splits where he gets, his ERA is close to 5 on the road, but at home it's 1.99 with a 169 opponent's batting average and 65 strikeouts over 54 in the third. He only went through 5 innings and allowed 2 earned runs in that loss at home versus the Twins. Orioles are raking righties, 288, 73 OPS. Mariners are terrible offensively, 213, 675 OPS, and both bullpens are being very good. Dominique Diaz says, how do I join the horse race, y'all? Yes, all you have to do is be a gold member of Pub Sports Radio, and you're in every single horse race if you are a gold member of Pub Sports Radio. And we'd love it if you were part of it, Dominique. We'd love it. So Jose Bouquet, take it away here. A fascinating spot, Orioles Mariners.
Shout out to BJ for saying that Corbin's coming off of the paternity.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah.
As well. I'm going to stay off this game. If I was going to bet the Mariners, probably be this game because they're coming or trying to avoid the sweep. But I just don't want to fade the Orioles here, so I stay off pretty easily. Maybe an under here, obviously, with both of these pitchers being really good and Mariners being one of the best under teams of baseball, but still, I wanted to pass.
Yeah, I'm going to be off of the spot as well. I'm going to stay off it, but I'm going to stay off it. I'm going to stay off it, but I think the paternity is an interesting issue. Nate Dogg says he always hit Miller here. Yeah, I'm going to stay off of this.
Maybe
spot.
This will be the only over of the series then.
Yeah. Well, this one didn't move. It's now moving towards the under, but it hadn't initially. When I was looking at it, it was due to the over last night. Let's move on. San Francisco Giants at Atlanta Braves. So we're starting night games. We have 4 more games on the slate. This is a nice one. Truist Park in Hotlanta. Braves are 27-15 at home. Giants 17-26 on the road, but are just 3 games under 500 overall. Let's get into the weather in Hotlanta. We have 93 Fahrenheit. Feels like 99. So it's, heating up there. 7.1 miles per hour in, dives down to 6 by the end of the game. Let's get into the line history for this Giants-Braves spot. We have the total at 8 minus 110 to the under. This did have a cup of coffee at 7.5. It moved to 7.5 at 7:52 a.m. I lasted there till 8:23 a.m. And we have still just 2 cents of movement here on the under. On the money line, we have this sitting right now with the Giants at plus 111. They opened up at plus 109. So a very slight 2-cent move towards the Braves. BJ is on the Braves money line here. Let's look at the cash flow and see if it also leads us in that direction. 78% of the tickets and 72% of the cash on the Braves. 78 and 72 on the Braves. And on the total, 97 and 97 on the over. Logan Webb is not at home. He isn't being bad on the road. 2-4, 4.08 ERA, 276 opponents batting average. Shout out to our guy Ricky Levine in the house. Great to see you, Ricky. Happy Independence Day. We have Logan Webb coming off a great start at home. against the tough-hitting Dodgers squad. 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 Ks, 3 walks. But on the road, 276 opponents batting average. It's just not lights out. Charlie Morton is pitching another stellar season. I mean, this guy just keeps delivering. 3.89 ERA, 1.25 whip, 87 Ks over 85 and 2/3. He's only allowed 7 jacks in those 85 and 2/3. Coming off a scoreless start in 6 1/3 at home versus the Pirates. Now he's consecutive home starts. At home, 3.55 ERA, 230 opponents batting average. The Giants aren't hitting righties. Neither are the Braves. Giants 226.76, Braves 215.674. And the huge advantage is the Braves bullpen over the Giants bullpen. And razor sharp picks cashing already. Exacta and the try in Delaware race 1. Great job, Razor. Take it away for us here, Jose. Giants Braves.
Yeah, I stay off this game too, but I do lean under, admittedly. I know it's super hot out, but again, the Braves are just the best team for unders in baseball. By the way, double play gets us out of the top or the first inning for the Pirates, so that's good. But yeah, I lean under in this game. I trust Webb to an extent. It's more trusting Webb and fading this Braves offense that continues to provide unders for us. Charlie Morton's been good. But I am staying off this game, and everyone knows there's 97% of the bets and money on this game, and of course, it's all in the over. But I lean under. No movement on the total either.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Logan Webb's not been good on the road. Let's go for his road starts. I mean, because is he going to be able to shut down this really meek offense? I mean, he should be able to, shouldn't he? Because Morton is going to be able to deliver here.
Yeah, I think so.
So let's just go over what Logan Webb's last few road starts. I mean, are the Braves just to play once again here? So last road starts, the Cardinals aren't hitting righties that hard. Logan Webb allowed 4 earned runs there. Then at the Cubs, he allowed 2 earned runs. At the Rangers, 2 earned runs. But those teams aren't hitting, and the Braves aren't hitting. Are they giving us a 4.5 on the first 5?
I will tell you right now on Bet Online, they are not. 4 minus 105. So maybe you can get a more juice 4.5 here.
Jay Kopp on the under says these offenses are both cold. Dunkaroo, he's out, but he's on the Angels, Padres, and the Twins. Tigers under 8.5. Get that cash, man. Have a great Independence Day, and thank you for rocking with us.
Minus 4, 4.5 is minus 145.
Yeah, it's way too expensive. Huh. Well, I this is a night game. I've got more time to decide what to do on it. So
yeah, if you have a good day, we know you're not going to bet these night games. If you go 3-0 in the morning, 4-0 in the morning, you're like, all right, I'm good here.
I don't know. I've got 8 bets right now, so it's not like I don't know. And I find these late games extremely appealing, and I've moved on one of them already. Ron Crawford has the Giants as a dog. Huh. And Truth Teller thinks Logan deals. It's just so hot. You think this ball's going to be flying in Atlanta?
That's the concern. That's why I'm worried about betting the under here. That's that and Logan Webb being bad on the road are the 2 reasons why I'm staying off. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this as well. Andrew McCutchen did his furries tweet, and people that know that whenever he tweets furries and there's a furries convention in Pittsburgh, he, for whatever reason, just proceeds to rake. He just scorched the ball to center fielder, just got caught. But just a heads up for you, Andrew McCutchen and Pirates bettors out there, Justin.
Okay. Fernando says they got to get this. They have the Dodgers next. Collins Clips looking at first 3 under 2.5. All right, let's roll on to this next spot on the board. That Giants-Braves game's a little tricky. 8:10 p.m. Eastern, Brewers, Rockies. Was I ever wrong about that first 5 over 6? When it came to first pitch, it moved to 6.5, and the full game had moved to 12. And I really thought I was in business. I did not expect Colin Ray to shove the way he did, and Dakota Hudson had a strong start as well. So Brewers, Rockies, coming off the loss yesterday. We're in Coors Field in Denver, Colorado, and I rarely bet overs. Take a look at the weather here in Colorado to get us started. We have, here we go. We have 81 Fahrenheit, 9 miles per hour in, gets up to 9.9 miles per hour in. Take a look at the line of history here for the Rockies Brew Crew start. Two pitchers that I like, Tobias Myers and Cal Quantrill. We have Cal Quantrill and the Rockies at plus 126. That's where they opened, at plus 126. So no movement on the money line. On the total, we are sitting with Quantrill and Myers at a 10.5, a low total for this time of year in Colorado. Opened up at 10.5, and then it moved to 11 briefly. It wasn't a real 11 plus 104 to the over and minus 117 to the under, and back to 10.5. Overall, we have 8 cents of movement on this 10.5. We get to the cash flow. 46% of tickets are on the under. This is the only game that has, legit tickets on the under. So this has 46% of tickets on the under. The next highest is 15% of tickets on the under in the Mariners game. Third, Yankees, 12% of tickets on the under. So, as you know, it's a holiday and a lot of action out there, and cappers are betting overs. Let's get to the money line here. So we have legit action on the under, sitting at 10.5 in this one. And we have 75% of tickets and 86% of cash on the Brewers with this line not moving. Tobias Myers has been excellent. 3.26 ERA, 1.16 whip. This guy's got a real bright future. He's been very good. He had a tough start and then got it together. We have a quality start at home in his last against the Cubs, 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 hits, 6 Ks, 2 walks. On the roads, where he's been lights out, 4-2, 1.93 ERA, 205 opponents batting average. Kyle Quantrill has been very good this year. 6-6, 3.78 ERA. He has last start, he allowed 5 earned runs over 5 1/3. At the White Sox, he did not look good. At home, he's been strong, though. 4.05 ERA, 253 opponents batting average. The Brewers are lacking power all of a sudden. No power. It was a tough day yesterday. Adames got kicked out. That's only the second time in his career he's been kicked out of a game. 258, 710 OPS since versus righties. Rockies versus righties since June 1st, 236, 678. The bullpen disparity is enormous. The Brewers right now, since June 1st, are allowing 4.02 runs less. Can you imagine that? 4.02 runs less over 9 innings than the Rockies. Jose Bouquet, take it away. Brewers, Rockies.
Yeah, I think I'm passing this game too. I'm sure everyone's betting the under after seeing what happened yesterday, and everyone's like, "Oh God, the over was so high, and we didn't bet the under. Let's bet it now." So truly, this would be a game I actually bet over. Tobias Myers has not faced the Rockies, so I lean Rockies here. Truly, I will typically always fade a pitcher that goes into Coors Field for the first time. So I'm interested to see what their team total is right now. And I'm looking at it right now, 4.5 minus 120. First 5 team total is only 2.5 minus 105. So both are very interesting to me here, honestly.
Yeah, I'm going to stay off of the spot. I certainly can imagine why you are interested, but it's a stay off spot for me. Tobias Myers has been very good. Do we trust? You have no trust because he's never pitched in the thin air.
Yeah. I typically don't want to believe any of those guys.
That's fair. Absolutely fair. Okay, let's roll on. We got a runner on second right now. Chang Kim in the house, looking for a top play. We have gotten off to a winning start, Chang, which is very good. If you were to give out a best bet here at this point, would it be part of these 1 p.m. games that start in 18 minutes?
It would be one of the first 5 unders that we've already bet. Maybe Houston, Toronto, first 5 under. 4.5 would be my best one as of now.
And I can't give it a first 3 under 2.5 because not everybody has that opportunity.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on officially both team totals here. First 5 team total over 2.5 here. I need to get the juice real fast because I just went to go look at Tobias Myers' pitches and I wanted to see if he used a sinker a lot. And he's fastball, cutter, slider, changeup, curveball. And I think those will have some issue in the thin air. So first 5 team total is 2.5 minus 105 there. And I have to write this down. Sorry. And then full game team total is 4.5 minus 120.
So what I would do is I would tie the Argos money line to Jose's best bet. Toronto Argonauts money line to Jose's best bet. Let's roll on. Let's roll on here. Next up for us is 8:10 p.m. Eastern. I've moved on this. So sorry, Jose, did you just... Sorry, I'm following all these... we got live action going. Did you just move on Brewers, Rockies?
Yeah, first 5 and full game team totals for the Rockies.
Wow.
4.5 minus 120 and 2.5 minus 105.
Interesting. After being shut out yesterday, it's a very interesting look. I like it.
But I just think that well, obviously the Brewers bullpen is good, but I think that Tobias Myers could give up 5 runs on his own. So,
all right, let's roll on here. Next up for us, 8:10 p.m. Eastern, we have the Tampa Bay Rays 43-43, 20-18 on the road at Kansas City Royals 48-40, 31-17 at home at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri. Before we get into this one, we have Swiggy and our guy Mikey Money in the chat talking about the plays of the day. It's a pretty exciting thing we have going on at Pub Sports Radio right now. If you go to account, you get everything. You get overview, highlights, Pub Sports, which is like Pub Sports card, which is like a consensus card. You see the leaderboard. You get everything here. You can see exactly what the handicappers have tweeted out and who is being successful. Last night, our Pub Sports card, which is a consensus of winning cappers, what they're on, cashed both bets. Cashed comfortably both bets. Reds the first 5 plus a half, and the Cardinals Pirates first 5 under 4.5, both cashed. Subhuman Gaucho cashed his. Brizzy cashed his Mercury Wings over 171.5. Cabby cashed his Houston Astros. TJ cashed that first 5 under 4.5. Billy Friedrich cashed his Tampa Kansas City first 5 under 4.5. And then you see who did not deliver. So you get it all right here. It's wonderful. So it's when you go to pubsportsradio.com, you click on account and you get all of the information here. It's really exciting what Swiggy's doing here on our website. So check that out at pubsportsradio.com. Here we go, and we're going to officially show everything to everybody here with football coming up in August. So we're working things out. Here we go. Royals at home at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm on the Royals first 5. I got plus 105. I almost doubled up on this. I came so close to the first 3 minus 105 and the first 5 plus 105, and I hesitated. I hesitated because of Zach Eflin's last start, but his last start was at home, and we backed him in that start. Look, I'm ready to back Zach Eflin in all of his home starts moving forward, but I can't get over how he struggles on the road. 1-4, 5.01 ERA, 278 opponents batting average, and that success that he just had was, kind of an outlier performance. Even though we were on it and we liked it and we expected it at home, it was kind of an outlier performance. So he struggled on the road. He's coming off of a great start, and I'm challenging him. And I'm backing Alec Marsh. You guys know I'm very high on Alec Marsh. I backed him in that 10-3 win at home over the Guardians, 6 innings, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot over 4 hits. He had a bit of a hiccup. He got off to a great start. I've watched a lot of his starts. I really believe in the kid. At home, he's got a 3.30 ERA. He's allowed 4 home runs over 43 2/3. He's got a 234 opponents batting average. The Rays aren't hitting righties, 229, 694, and the Royals aren't hitting righties, 226, 687, and both bullpens are very middling. Rays bullpen, 4.13 ERA, being a little unlucky, really low whip, had some bad bounces. Royals bullpen, 4.14 ERA, 1.31 whip. Let's get into the weather here in this one. in Kansas City and hear what Jose has to say about this spot. Weather-wise, 81 Fahrenheit, 5.9 miles per hour to right field. Then it sort of goes out to the right field pole, but it's between 5.9 and 6.4 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. This total has moved to 9 at Pinnacle. It moved to 9 at 7 this morning. So there is expected volatility, which obviously, makes me nervous. Let's get to the money line here. On the full game money line, we have the Royals at plus 109. They opened up at plus 115. And this is being sort of heading toward, there had been no movement at all. This was just a flat, no movement spot till about 9 this morning when it started moving to the Royals. Let's look. And I got plus 109 on my first 5. That was at Penny. It was plus 105 at 360. No, it was at both. I believe I'll have to double check. I think it was plus 105 at both. I'll have to double check that. Let's just go to I want to see what the money line is on the first 5. So just give me 1 second here and we'll take a look at this one. First 5 money line. Wow. We're down to even money. I like seeing that a lot. But that's where it started at Bet Online. I can't see Pinnacle's line moving, but it started at even money, got up to plus 105, and then came back to even money. So no movement on the first 5. Let's get into the cash flow for this spot. We have 93% of tickets, 86% cash on the over. We've seen it move to 9, even if it's not a legit 9. On the money line, we have 59% of tickets, 58% cash on the Rays, and I'm on the other side of that. Take it away for us here, Jose Bouquet. We have Rays, Royals, only one more game after this one. Take it away. Oh, you're muted, my man.
I'm off this game as well. By the way, Rays trade away Savali. I think it was yesterday. That was very interesting as well. But no action here from me. Marsh, I go back and forth on whether I like him or not. He's definitely in your rotation. Yeah, Jimmy, I can tell you that. I have to. And actually, he's the first name on my list of your rotation guys, actually. So I'm not surprised that you're on him here. I like the Royals. No. I just don't have enough confidence to move on them. So no action here for me.
All right, it's 1-0 Cardinals. Just terrible Jesus. Fielding, terrible.
Yeah, I was about to say, how that roll all the way. Yeah, and this could have been, he could have got out of this inning too. Ground ball to first base, hit it to Rowdy, and he just didn't hit the fucking bag for the third out. And that led to that.
Not good. But I still think the Pirates can get some runs on the board, and they're going to need to get them now. All right. That was disappointing. Okay, so I am on the Royals' first 5. And I'll just go back to this spot here. And it is right. I did get the it was plus 105 at both books at 365 and Penny. Okay, let's roll. Gifted Cartel says, Jose, do you believe in Troy Torrance rule for this situation?
I don't know what that rule is off the top of my head, Gifted.
Yeah, which game are we talking about, Gifted Cartel?
I'm assuming that if your play goes down early, you bet it again. I don't know, but
okay. Oh, short home dog.
Yeah, it's a good note. I definitely, I have it written down. Don't bet the home dogs plus 120 to minus 102 here. So I guess that contributes.
Let's roll on our final MLB game here on the board. 9:10 p.m. Eastern with the Arizona Diamondbacks 42-44, 20-23 on the road at the LA Dodgers 53-34, 26-17 at home. We're at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. I took a long look at this spot and wasn't sure exactly how to handle it. I love when you talk about Zach Gallen's history against the Dodgers, so touch on that and batter pitcher if you could, Jose. Zach Gallen had his first start off the IL, and there was a thing of beauty, but it was a cushy spot at home against the A's. 6 innings, allows 1 hit, 7 Ks, 1 walk. He looked awesome. He struggled on the road this year. 4.33 ERA, 248 opponent's batting average. He hasn't been very good. Going up against Landon Knack, who's been very, very good. 2.08 ERA, 0.96 whip over 30 and a third. Coming off a 5-3 loss at the Giants, he only allowed 1 earned run. It was a solo shot over 4 2/3. At home, he's only thrown 14 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 11 Ks and 4 walks, 176 opponent batting average. Shout out to Trisha M in the house. Happy 4th to you, my friend.
I thought she was saying that she was sloppy at Ellis Park. I was like, oh, wow, Trisha. lit, and it's barely even noon.
Very
Fuck.
early for Trish to be on the sauce, to be on the drink. I love it. But no, it's she's capping thoroughbreds as she does very well. So Diamondbacks versus Righties, 273, 796 OPS. So we've now, after the domination yesterday, where we had a team total at 3.5 that we bet. That wasn't even juiced.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still pissed off. I feel like the Diamondbacks should have won 2 out of 3 this series.
Well, they're now hitting righties harder than the Dodgers. Their bullpen is a problem. 4.82 ERA, 1.40 WHIP. Let's take a look at the weather in Los Angeles. We have 73 Fahrenheit, 9.8 miles per hour to right field, between 9.8 and 7.6 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history and the cash flow as well. From a line history standpoint, and I took a long look at this spot. From line history standpoint, that's first 5. Let's move to full game. I was interested in the Dodgers here. The Dodgers are at minus 125. They opened up at minus 126, so no movement at all towards them. And when we get to the total here, we have them sitting. Here we go. We have the total sitting at 8.5, minus 109 to the under, open minus 108 to the under. So we've had no movement on side and total. And when we get to the cash, there's 95% of tickets, 95% of cash on the over. There's 81% of tickets and 96% cash on the Dodgers. I don't really find any of this appealing. Mikey Money was on the Diamondbacks, and Walker Ribby got that plus 400. And of course, Walker hit that early homer. Take it away here. And Tricia says, saving my fireworks and drinks for that Venezuelan Independence Day blowout.
Yep. Trisha knows.
By the way,
Trisha's, by the way, a part of the community now. She's officially one of us.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that our friend Slatsy, a Canadian, is on Venezuela to win tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad Slatsy's seen the light.
Take it away for us here, Diamondbacks Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about the soccer games because I learned about a little rule, not really a change, but a rule they're doing for the Copa that makes everything a little more interesting for the underdogs, at least. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the spot to bet the Dodgers here, really. Zach Gallen on the road, obviously not as good on the road, and his last few starts against the Dodgers, 5 1/3, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 home runs allowed last year. That was a 7-4 loss. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. Again, both in 23 last year. I'm curious. I don't know if Zach Gallen went against the Dodgers in the playoffs here, and I'm interested to see, and I'm sure he did, but I'm going to look at that right now to see how he did here. So that's always interesting to me. He went 1-0 against the Dodgers last year, 5 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs on a home run, 4 Ks, 2 walks. He wasn't really that great in the playoffs either, but I just worry that Gallen is vulnerable here. Landon Knack will obviously be the question mark of the game. How does he do in this spot when the Dodgers are trying to win this series? Shout out to East Tennessee State. That's where he's from. Shout out to him. 4 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run against the Giants, 5 shutout against the Angels, and has not given up more than 2 earned runs since his first 2 appearances back-to-back against the Nationals. So he's just been solid since he's been up. I don't know. I'm going to stay off here. I honestly lean Dodgers, maybe a team total over for a Dodgers here. But I'm going to end up staying off this game. So it'll be very fun to watch here for sure.
Yeah, I lean towards the Dodgers, but no movement towards them with 96% of the cash is not appealing to me, and I'm not going to move on it either.
Yeah, I had some movement down too. I had minus 130 opener, now down to minus 120. So yeah.
That is not appealing. Let's review all MLB action. We got a lot to come. We got a Copa breakdown, CFL breakdown, and then we have Billy Brisbane ready to rock with 2 games in WNBA. So let's review all action here on the card. We got off to a winning start. Jose on the first 5 under in Mets Nats. I was on the first 3 under 2.5. Got off to a winning start. Now that could go away quickly. I'm on the Pirates first 5. I thought I was going to get the minus 101, but I did not. I got minus 106. I got Reds first 5 plus a half at minus 105. Jose, you do all your, even though I've got, I think, all of it, but I'm going to listen and make sure I do. So I'm just going to do my action here. Reds first 5 plus a half and Pirates first 5 minus 105, minus 106, respectively. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 in the Astros Blue Jays game. First 5 under 4.5. That was at minus 115. BJ's got his best bet, Blue Jays money line. I'll go over the best bets here as well. Then I moved on the under 8.5 at minus 105 in White Sox Cleveland. I'm on the first 3 under 2.5 in Detroit, Minnesota. The lone question mark I have here, because I'm already on the Cubs first 5, is the first 5 under 4.5, and I don't think I'm going to get there. Then a couple spots. Then I guess I slow down. I'm interested in that first 5 under, but I don't know if I get there in San Francisco, Atlanta. I have Royals first 5 plus 105. So I really, all my action really is kind of going on right now. Jose, just before you talk about your action, spreadsheet play of the day dog is the LA Angels from Ron Crawford on his birthday. Ron Crawford, if this is a birthday pick from both of us, tie whatever Jose gives with the Argos money line. Billy Friedrich Pig Milk play today is the Phillies and the Dodgers money line parlay at plus 221. Justin McKelvey on Juan Soto over 1.5 bases at plus 112. Air Dogs on Gunnar Henderson, 2 or more hits and a homer. The 2 or more hits is plus 210. The homer is plus 300. Razor Sharp Picks gave us his full Delaware card. I'll pop that in the chat before we move past this spot. BJ's best bet is the Blue Jays money line. Jay Kopp, if your aunt had balls, should be your uncle play today's White Sox minus 1.5 plus 295. And then he said White Sox would have I think he changed it. So Jay Kopp, let us know how you changed it. Lamont Williams, max bets Minnesota run line. He's also parlaying Minnesota, Cleveland, Yankees, and the Phillies. Mikey Money ribeye play today's Trey Turner at plus 145. And your grandma is wearing your sister's panties again play today is the Blue Jays in the over 8.5. Jose, take over your action, my friend.
Yeah, so all of my action, and shout out to everyone again, as always, sticking through all the MLB action with us. Cash that Nationals Mets first 5. Shout out to us. We have Pirates first 5 money line in play right now. Astros, Blue Jays first 5 under 4.5 minus 120. Tigers, Twins first 5 under 4.5 minus 120. Cubs, Phillies first 5 under 4 minus 115. Padres full game money line plus 102. Angels minus 105 full game money line. Shout out to you, Ron Crawford. Happy birthday. And then Rockies team total over 4.5 minus 120, and first 5 over 2.5 team total over 2.5 there minus 105 there for me.
I like your card. We were off to a winning start. Let's keep that going here. And the Pirates, I'm a little uncomfortable about the situation. All right, let's roll on. Jose, next up for us is the Copa America. 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. We have Argentina undefeated in their Group A, going up against Ecuador, who you know very well. 1-1 second in Group B. We're at Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. Let's go over the line history here for this one. There has been questions as to whether Messi will be in the lineup for Argentina. We have Argentina opening up at minus 255. They're now minus 200. Big move away from Argentina. That's not been a move towards Ecuador. What that is has been a move towards the draw from 338 to 296. Jose will talk about the new rule changes surrounding the draws. That is the side. From a total standpoint here, we have it's sitting at a 2. It's at a 2. It's minus 122 to the over. This is dropped from 2.25. This opened at 2.25, dropped to 2, and then went back up. It's dropped again. So this is at a 2, which is the lowest total that we've seen of these Copa games. So, Jose, I don't believe we'll get any information here. Let's see if we can get any cash flow information, and that is a no. Take it away for us, my man. Your thoughts on Argentina, Ecuador.
Yeah, I mean, this, and this goes for all the games now. This is going to be huge for these underdogs. So, no extra time, basically, is the rule. They're going no extra time. Straight to penalties after the 90 minutes. And that just gives all the incentive in the world for these smaller teams like Ecuador to play just hella defensively. Sit back, hold for 90 minutes, and then you fucking roll your dice on a penalty shootout there. And so, I mean, honestly, I came into the show thinking like, what am I going to bet? How's it going to happen? Thinking about it. I just think this is just a simple under for me here. Because if Argentina scores and it's 1-0, I think Argentina will then just hold on to the ball for the rest of the game and try to see it out. And in an ideal world for Ecuador, this is 0-0 after 90 minutes. So it's going to be, again, and if you guys haven't noticed in these Copa America games, you guys saw it with Uruguay, Argentina. If you watch Colombia, Brazil, these games turn into fucking brawls at some point. There's going to be hard fouls. Nothing's going to be easy. Hella yellow cards. And then it depends on the referee, obviously. We saw in the USA game, that game can go away from you quickly if you don't hand out yellows. So I just like the under here. And maybe this is just I'm feeling like Noli knows today, and I've just bet a shitload of unders on my baseball card. I'm just going to roll it onto here. So under 2 is going to be my official play here. Now, the scary scenario for this total, obviously, an Argentina goal early puts us in an SOL situation because then obviously Ecuador is going to have to open up, and if Argentina has time and Ecuador is trying to score, they're probably going to score again here. So I'm going to be interested to see how these matches are played in this knockout stage now. But Argentina, Ecuador, under 2, and Bet Online, you can get the under 2 at plus 107.
I'm very interested in tailing that. I won't tweet it out or anything, but I will let you know if I do. I think that makes a ton of sense how Ecuador will play Argentina. Do you think that there's any concern whether Messi plays?
No, I think he plays. I think they were bullshitting that last game. Like, say he has a hamstring injury to say he's not going to play. But they didn't need him in that last game. He plays here today. Maybe he doesn't play the full 90, especially if they go up 1-0. And like in like the 60th minute, he'll get subbed out probably. And then that's fine. But I do expect him to play here. And that's fine. Obviously, Jimmy, we still have that future Messi to be the player of the tournament at plus 400.
I don't.
Oh, I do. When I say we, I mean, me.
Okay.
But I still have that bet out there as my, Argentina future. Because I can easily just bet Uruguay when they get up there, or whoever goes against them. Because I think if you look at the bracket, Argentina has a fucking cakewalk to the final. We've been kind of saying that for a little bit now, so we'll see. But I'm telling you, the big X factor is going to be no extra time, and you just go straight to penalties. That's going to be a very scary notion for these favorites. So it'll be very interesting to see how that all unfolds. But I'm going to be on the under. I think Ecuador just defends the fuck out of their goal for 90 minutes and hopes to get to penalties.
All right. Let's roll on Jose on the under 2 at plus 107. We move on to Canadian football here for our next spot. Jose, do you want to stick around with us and hang out with us for CFL and WNBA, or do you want to come back for WNBA? How do you want to handle things?
I will be back at the end of the program because I have to make our races for today.
Okay, so we do have some time here. We got 2 WNBA games after this CFL breakdown, so we do have some time. Houston up 1-0, by the way, here, and the Tigers up 1-0. So not ideal for our unders. Houston is raking already off of Bassett. This is very, very concerning here. Very concerning. Oh, there is one out. Okay, sorry. The 365 is messed up.
Did he get Jordan out, guys?
No, it was a walk.
That's what we figured.
Okay, we're going to roll in, and the Red Sox have ducks on the pond. The Reds Yankees game has just popped off as well. So
already 1-0 Red Sox as well.
Wow. All right. So let's move in. Let's have heats for this one, and it's let's use horses. Let's use thoroughbreds. Let's not mess around. It's the 4th of July. Let's use horses here. So we will see you here shortly, Jose. Let's do 3 heats if possible. All right, let's get into CFL. We swept the board last week, 3-0, but that's not that big of a deal. We're now 11-11. down 1.18 units. So it's not like I'm destroying, but I believe we're seeing things smoothly, and we will deliver here. Again, I told you guys that you know, and I know not all of you are on X, and that's all good, but X isn't about taking pictures. It's not like we don't. No one. There's no selfies. It's just about gambling. And I put my CFL action early in the week, and we destroyed line moves. 3-0 Astros. What a joke. G. Martinez says Shea Patterson time, and that's what I want to talk about here, because I do not believe in Shea. And it's not that I don't believe in him as a quarterback. You know, even at Ole Miss, he showed promise, and he certainly showed promise in Michigan, and we'll go over Shea. But it's very difficult for your first game in the CFL. I've never seen anybody shine immediately in the CFL, ever. Any quarterback. So let's talk about this spot here. We went over it on Tuesday to get you guys involved with this action. We got WNBA right after this, but I wanted you guys to know that we were going to destroy line moves, and this was no different. We got the Argos full game -3. We got them first half -1.5. It was 4.5 as of yesterday and last night. Let's take a look and see what it is right now here for this one. Argos, Roughriders. We don't have a 5, but we have 4.5. So we beat that line by 1.5. At Pinnacle, this opened up at 3. And that was on Tuesday. I got the 3. You know, if I had waited, I would have got a better line. You know, this went from 3 to 3.5, back to 3, and then now up to 4.5. So that's that spot there. Interestingly, they're saying that my bookies moved this to a 6. They said that MyBookie moved this to a 6 at 9:33 this morning. They had moved it to a 5 at one point. If anybody's got MyBookie up right now, if you could confirm that, that would be very, very interesting. On the total here, I moved on this last night at 48. It's now 48 minus 118. I see 47s on the board, and just 47. Oh, 46.5 at Bet Online. And I'll explain this here. Okay, I'll explain this here. 73 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour. The Argonauts are playing their first road game of the year, and the Roughriders are 3-0 and have lost their starting quarterback, Trevor Harris. So they needed fourth quarter comebacks to win 2 of these games. They've only played the Tiger Cats and the Elks. So the Riders are 3-0. The 2 teams they played are combined 0-8. They're coming off their bye week. Bye weeks have not helped CFL teams, and it's wild that it hasn't. It just doesn't seem to help teams. I often think earlier in the year the buys will help a little more. That's not always the case. In comes 27-year-old Shea Patterson, Ole Miss in 2016, 2017, then at Michigan in 2018, 2019. So yeah, he looked good in those 2 years for the Wolverines. 45 touchdowns, 15 picks. You know, he has a Ole Miss single game passing yards record. In Michigan, he has single-game regulation passing touchdown record, consecutive 300-yard passing games, consecutive 4 touchdown passing game records. In his senior season, his passing yardage total was second in school history. Look, he looked good, okay? He was signed by the Chiefs as an undrafted free agent in 2020. He was also drafted by the Texas Rangers in 2018 for baseball. They hold on to his rights. The rights end this year. Then he was drafted with the first pick in the 2022 USFL draft. You know, he played for the New Orleans Breakers. We saw him come in here in week 3 before the bye. Now he's had a full bye week of practicing with the first unit. He knows this is a huge opportunity for him. He did not look good when he came in, replacing Harris in week 3, 4 of 10 for 41 yards. So let me start by saying I don't believe that he's going to deliver in his first CFL game. I don't. The Argos have spent their first 4 weeks at home. Now they travel to Mosaic Stadium in Regina, Saskatchewan. This is the toughest place to play in the CFL. The crowd, the fans are boisterous, they're drunk, they're loud, and they're all in green, and they love their team. Last week, the Argos lost 30-20 at home to the defending champion Alouettes, and we saw Cameron Jukes struggle. That was against a tough Alouette defense. You know, he went 22 for 32 for 199 yards in the interception. He's become something of a check down specialist. The Argos wide receiving group, they haven't found their alpha. Now, we think it's going to be DeMonte Coxey. He began the year on the injured list. He got his season debut in week 3. He catches 58 yards, 38 yards last week against Montreal. You know, that was a team high 7 targets for Coxey. So And we have Colorado Bull, Argos team total over 26.5 and Argos over 47. So, Colorado Bull, I love hearing your looks, man. Love hearing your looks. But I'm on the other side for the total here. But if you read articles or if you look, the Argos team total over is a big look for cappers. Here with the Argos, there's still confusion over who is going to. There's no rhythm between Cameron Dukes and these receivers. You know that 8 different receivers had multiple catches against the Alouettes. 8. And Makai Polk led receivers with 5 catches for 60 yards. And I'm telling you, Dukes is the check down machine right now. Kadeem Carey had another strong game with 9 carries for 61 yards and 3 catches for 26 yards. So let's talk about this defense here. And this won't be a long breakdown. We'll get into WNBA here in a second. But both the Riders, Argos defense is middling thus far. They're 4th and 5th in the league respectively, but it doesn't tell the whole story. These are the 2 worst defenses in the league through the air. Saskatchewan's defense allows 337 yards per game through the air, and the Argos are last at 346 yards per game. I simply believe that these 2 quarterbacks in this situation are not going to be able to take advantage of it. Shea Patterson, in his first CFL start, will not be able to take it. I am investing heavily against this man in his first start in the CFL. So Cameron Dukes in his first road start of the season, look, he's been sitting at home for 2 months, if you include training camp, playing 3 games and a bye all at home. Now you're going to go into Mosaic Stadium. The crowd's going to be going bananas. He's not going to be able to, clearly make audibles at the line of scrimmage. And this is not supposed to be the starting quarterback. It's supposed to be Chad Kelly, who, of course, is suspended for 9 games. I just don't believe he's going to be able to deliver offensively, even though this is the Roughriders' problem is through the air. So the Roughriders, in the second half of last season, allowed 325.5 passing yards per game and 34.2 points per game. They were a laughingstock. Overs were cashing nonstop. The over has gone 13-1 in Saskatchewan's last 14 games. 13-1. And yes, I'm betting the under. The last 7 times against Toronto, the over is 6-1. Every single trend is pointing to the over, but I don't think the X's and O's set up for the over. Toronto's defense, last in CFL passing yards, last in opponent passing efficiency. Come on. Are we really going to sit here and think that Shea Patterson is just going to deliver against this defense? These 2 teams have arguably the best running backs in the league. AJ Ouellette on the Roughriders, Kadeem Carey on the Argos. You want to talk about where these defenses excel? Both teams have by far the best run defense in the CFL. You have the Roughriders allowing 32.7 yards per game on the ground, while the Argos are allowing 40. Ouellette and Kadeem Carey are monsters, and they are going to have a tough time moving the ball. Ouellette began his career with the Argos. If you guys remember, for you Americans, he played 5 years for the Ohio Bobcats, and he was an Argo from 2019 until this year when he signed with the Roughriders. Last year, he rushed for 1,009 yards in just 15 games with 10 touchdowns. I know that every single edge points to the over, but there's a reason why this market is moving to the under. Now, if I was really believing in Cameron Dukes, I would take just the Roughriders team total under. But let's see what Cameron Dukes does here in a regular season game that means a lot in a sold-out Mosaic Stadium with the fans going crazy. I think that it's a scary thing when you see 13 of the last 14 games go over. It's a scary thing when you read articles where everyone's on over. Well, I simply do not believe that the X's and O's warrant an over. I think this game goes under. And I'm really happy to see the market moving to the under now because it hadn't when I moved on it. It hadn't this morning. So Robert Franklin, Roughriders plus 4.5. In Shea Patterson, you trust. And Shea Patterson, I don't trust. And I don't really trust Cameron Dukes. And I don't believe that these horrific passing defenses can be taken advantage of by these 2 quarterbacks. So I am on tweeted out, put out. I'm on the Argos first half -1.5 -115. I'm on the Argos full game -3 -115. And I'm on the under 48 at -108. That is our CFL breakdown for Thursday, July 4th. And I've got lots of action in CFL this week. 6 bets, and 3 of them are right here. Half of my action this week is in this game. tonight. Let's get that cash. And good luck to all of you, regardless of what side you guys are on. Okay, minus 4.5 is at my bookie. Thank you, RVD. It's weird that it said 6 there. Okay, there we go. It is time to get into WNBA, and we have just the man for the job joining us on Independence Day, which is wonderful. And all the cappers out there partying and drinking and having fun. Our next guest is here to get that cash on this holiday. Please welcome from South Jersey, our guy Billy Brisbane to the show. Brizzy, how are you?
Doing good. Do you hear me very well?
Yeah, you're good, man. You sound good. How are you? And happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. From yesterday was Canada Day, wasn't it? Right?
No, that was Monday, I believe.
Oh, I'm getting my days mixed up. I'm on vacation here, but no shortage of money here. Hopefully we can try to hit some winners tonight. A couple of games on tonight, and then we have the Friday card. Last night was a little bit of a weird one. We waited for the Brittany Griner news. She ended up being in there. Hit the over on that one. Tried to tweet out the Slovenia one. They just played this morning. They ended up winning by 16. We're on the first quarter, first half. Nice little Luka Doncic bounce back. Hopefully we can get some WNBA winners here. Only got one bet on the night game. The first game, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys out, see what the chat's got for it.
Well, let's roll, my friend. We start at 8 p.m. Eastern this evening. The Connecticut Sun 15-4, 7-2 on the road at the Minnesota Lynx 14-5, 9-1 at home. Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Lynx coming off a 4-game road trip here. Obviously, it started with great success, winning the Commissioner's Cup at New York Liberty 94-89. Then they faced Dallas and lost 94-88. Perfectly predicted by you, Brizzy. Then they went to Chicago, took them out 70-62, and then the Liberty exacted revenge on Tuesday, defeating the Lynx 76-67. For the Connecticut Sun, they have 1 day of extra rest. They played at Phoenix on Monday, winning 83-72. It was their third win in 4 games. And these last 2 wins over the Mystics and over the Mercury have come on the road, where they lost their game against the Dream at home. Let's get into the line history here for, wrong button, for this one and see the plan from our guy, Brizzy. We have, so many things up. Here we go. Let's get into the odds picture and see what Brizzy is thinking. He's moved on the second game, wants to talk out this first game, so let's do just that. At Bet Online, if you're looking for a new account, go through our website and use our link Pub Sports, and they will give you $1,000 match, $1,000 bonus, 100% bonus up to $1,000. Sorry, that's it. 100% bonus up to $1,000. This opened up with the Lynx -1 at -110, and it's moved briskly towards them. We are 27 hours into this line. 27 hours into this line being open. And now we have a -2.5 at -123. So there's -3s everywhere. Bookmaker has a -3.5. Now this was a 3.5 this morning. Went down to 2, now back up to 2.5, but a real 3. So we have a big move towards Minnesota. On the total, we are sitting here with a 150.5 at Bet Online. Opened up at 155.5. We have a 5-point move to the under, and this got down to 150. This was 5.5. There's been a 0.5 point of buyback. Let's take a look at the cash flow and see if we get any help here. And we get a little bit of help. Oh, we get help on everything. So we don't have cash flow on the spread, but we know that 70% of the tickets are on the Lynx. On the money line, 89% of the tickets are on the Lynx. We don't have cash flow, but we do know on the total that 58% of tickets are on the under and 90% of cash, and it's a 5-point move. Take it away for us here, Brizzy. Sun, Lynx.
Yeah, these are 2 of the better tier teams in the WNBA this year. Both teams have been getting it done in different ways, though. Minnesota has a league best 3-point shooting percentage, while they're still 11th in pace of play in the league. Connecticut, they're the slowest paced team in the league by far. Both defenses have looked good. The Sun have allowed 78.3 points per game in their last 4 games, while the Lynx have allowed 72 points per game in their last 5 previous games. The first meeting between these 2 teams needed overtime to go over the total. The game finished with a 165 total in regulation. The total finished at 155. I got burnt on under 163, so that's causing me some hesitation here. Betting this game was there was rumors that Alyssa Thomas was on her period the first game that they played this year, so I don't know if that contributed in towards me not cashing the under. The Connecticut Sun definitely did not come out to a hot start in that one, but I definitely want to bet the under, but it's more of a lean than an actual bet because that's one of the worst beats. You don't remember the wins, you more remember the losses, and that's one of the worst beats I've had this year. Like that total was legitimately 155 in regulation, and it was a dead under, and the game ended up going into overtime and ended up losing. So in theory, I feel like I should bet the under, but we'll talk about it in the second game. I ain't betting unders in the WNBA this month.
They have been soaring over. I can understand that. Connecticut Sun Lynx, no action here. Let's talk about the night spot 3-3 Jays. So gave a little bit back on that under in Astros Jays. Tigers also up 2-0. So need no more runs. A 3-0. Jesus. How did that happen? Fuck. Things are starting to turn for me in a way I don't like. But the Pirates have tied it up. Goddamn. Got the day off to a winning start. Now I've given that back. Upsetting. Tori Coker in the house. Great to see you. Let's talk about the final spot on the board. 10 p.m. Eastern with the Washington Mystics 5-15, 2-8 on the road at the Las Vegas Aces, 11-6, 6-4 at home. We're at Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's get into the X's and O's here and hear what Brizzy has moved on in the late game in WNBA. We have the Mystics bouncing back off losing at home in overtime to the Connecticut Sun and then to the Aces. They played on Tuesday night at LA and just barely squeezed past the Sparks 82-80. And the Aces are winning and winning by margin, winning comfortably and on a big winning streak. They kept that winning streak going 5 straight with that win over the Fever 88-69 at home on Tuesday, and now they have back-to-back home games. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. This total is sitting at 173 over at BetOnline, opened up at 169, 3.5-point move to the over. And on the spread, we have this sitting with the Aces, minus 15 at minus 111. They opened up at 16.5, so there's been a point and a half of buyback. This is not the first time we've seen that. This went down to 14.5 at 3 this morning, then got all the way back up to 16 again. Now we have that point of buyback. So a 1.5 move towards the Mystics. 1.5 move towards the Mystics. Cash-wise for this spot, we get no help from the Action Network, despite 5,154 tickets in. No information from them. Take it away for us here, Brizzy. Our last game on today's Independence Day show. Don't forget, $100 horse race up next. Take it away, Brizzy. Mystics Aces.
Yeah, very rarely do I do this, but I bet the Mystics last night at plus 16. And like you said, it moved down to 14. And I'm staying at my girlfriend's for the last couple of days. And I asked her, she's like big WNBA fan. I asked her, I should definitely cash out of this bet and bet the over, right? And she was like, yeah, they're definitely not going to cover. And I looking into the game, it screams that the Mystics should cover, but this is a front end of a back-to-back for the Aces. I don't know how that really – I haven't really been hitting too well on the spreads on the front end of back-to-backs, but it's been kind of like a league-wide trend this last couple of weeks with them squeezing in more games than they usually do in the WNBA for the Olympics later on this month. I feel like it's been really causing bad situational – like rest advantage spots. And like we saw it last night with the Mercury 4th game in 6 days. There was just no defense being played in that game at all whatsoever. So I kind of want to go back to the well here with the over. I got it at 170.5 last night. The Aces, they've been night and day with Chelsea Gray on and off the floor. In the games that she's missed, they're 6-6 this year. With her back in the lineup, they've gone 4-1 ATS, 5 straight wins, 6-0 with her on the court this season. It feels like they're getting the respect of the odds makers just a little bit too much. Them being 16-point favorites is the largest line that Vegas has had closed in a game since May the 25th earlier this season. I've been high on the Mystics team, and they've been winning since their first win of the season. They've ranked 5th in the league in net rating. These two teams just played Saturday. That total finished at 165, going 10 points under the 175 posted total. The odds makers have adjusted 5 points down, but I don't think that's enough in my opinion. The Aces have been averaging 90 points per game since Chelsea Grace returned back in the lineup and been running the point guard position. And the Mystics are number 2 in 3-point shooting accuracy, while the Aces rank dead last in 3-point shooting defense. So I kind of lean towards the Mystic covering the big number, and I kind of lean towards the game going over, but I actually think the game goes over before I even should sweat out plus 16, because the game could finish at like 100-86 and it cashed over, and the spread wouldn't cash. So I kind of want to stay away from the spread here and just attack the total. I think the Mystic could definitely back or cover, but I'm kind of a little bit more intrigued. We'll talk about it tomorrow. The Aces are on the front end of a back-to-back to play the Sparks tomorrow.
Over 172.5 available right now at Pinnacle. Andrew G say Mystics playing a lot better lately. Aces win by 13 to 14 points. A little too high. One of those types of games. Over 172.5 at minus 110 for Mystics Aces. There's a ton of tournaments going on to see who gets the final spots for the Olympics. Is there anything you're looking at in that regard, Brizzy?
The one that was really convicted on yesterday, we talked about the Slovenia game. They played today. The ones that are later on in the day are kind of a little bit fishy. Poland versus Finland is the 2:30 game. That game's in about an hour. That totals at 163.5. I'm kind of intrigued by the under, and I kind of want to bet Poland. Finland doesn't have Larry Markkinen on their team this year. He was their big crucial, like he averaged 25 something points in the FIBA thing last year for them. He isn't playing this year because I guess he's trying to figure out his like real life NBA stuff. But Poland's got a nice little secret weapon. They got Jeremy Shohan from the San Antonio Spurs as their star player, and they're just letting Point Shohan go out there and run the damn thing. They did not look that good against the Bahamas, but I don't think the public understands the Bahama national basketball team is fucking legit. They got Buddy Hield, DeAndre Ayton. They should have had Klay Thompson, but Team USA wouldn't give the rights of Klay Thompson away from Team USA basketball to go play for Bahamas. But I would keep my eye on Bahamas in the next couple of days. That's definitely a team I want to bet on in the upcoming future. They have a small forward on that team. He's the number 3 small forward in the country coming into the college basketball season. He's going to be at Baylor this year. This kid's fucking legit. 2020 back-to-back games. He's fucking legit. I would definitely watch a Bahama national basketball game in the upcoming days. But for tonight's games, I kind of lean the 5.5, and I kind of lean towards the under 163. In the Greece-Egypt game, I mean, if you want to bet Greece minus 33.5, have fucking fun at it. And then in Ivory Coast, Mexico, I definitely think you could take a dog shot with the Mexican national basketball team at plus 4.5.
I love it. And the Bahamas also have the point guard who's the coach assistant coach at what is it? I can't remember if it's Butler or Bowling Green.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But he's like, they love him. Like they say he could be a pro basketball player, but he's trying to come into the coaching ranks. And yeah, the Bahamas are very, very interesting. I love it. Brizzy, thank you so much for making time for us here on a holiday. It means a ton to us, man. Truly, the grind that you deliver is the reason why you're succeeding in sports gambling. And thank you for your time. Please support Brizzy on X at getting_bills_. And don't forget our hit new show, the Locker Room Podcast UFC show, will be back in business next week. Starring Brizzy, Big Show, Millsy, and 2 Cents. Thank you so much for your time, Brizzy. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show? Over 172.5 for him and Mystics Aces. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show, my man?
Yeah, no matter how your day goes, if you're up money on the night, you got to bet the over in the game tonight. If you're down money on the night, this is going to be the last game of the card tonight. So if you got a beer, pop one open. If you got a smoke, light one up. Happy 4th of July.
I love it. There he is. Billy Brisbane. And we have capped 4 sports. And, there was a couple losses there after the win, but Reds up 1-0. Got them plus a half. That's a nice situation to be. The Pirates have tied it up and just got a double play ball. So if we can get this final out, and we should, their weak hitting catcher up, then we have a chance for a run and we cash or a push, which will put us in a fine situation as we move forward throughout the day. So a lot of hope still. And, the 2 losers, blowout losers, who cares? Rather than the tight one, who cares? We can be in the black here moving on to afternoon action. And there's still that one spot that I might add onto. Nunya says, Reds, really, Jimbo? Shake my head. Why would that upset you, Nunya? Why would that Vancouver hate? What are you talking about? Why can't I bet Cincinnati Reds and fade a pitcher that I know very, very, very well in Marcus Stroman? And also romanticize. Look, the Maeda romanticizing a loss, but why not Montas shoving against the team that he wanted to pitch so bad for? Nothing wrong with that, Nunya, man. Nothing wrong with that, Nunya, my man. Let's race horses. Jose Bouquet, come back and join us, my man. Let's see whom will win $100. $100 up for grabs. Jose, welcome back. Quickly here in MLB. Tori Coker saying any of the 2 o'clock games. Yes, I can give you a review of the 2 o'clock action here. We have, move to 2. Jose is on the Padres. Sharp action on the Padres. He's on them at plus 102. And I thought I had, and then ribeye play of the day is Trey Turner at plus 145 and Phillies Cubs. I'm on the Cubs first 5, and I might add this under 4.5. Jose, what do you think of what you've seen so far in MLB?
Yeah, the offense in the Astros game was pretty surprising. It wasn't what's his name. They just scored another run in Detroit, Minnesota, so we just lose the first 5 under there, unfortunately. So I can turn that off, annoyingly enough. But yeah, this is a few first 5 under losers that are annoying, but we move on. We still have action. The first 5 under in the Cubs game, like you mentioned. I'd rather be an under better than an over better and face the wrath of Noli knows. But we have exciting action here on the horse track in beautiful San Antonio Raceway. 3 heats, all racing for $100 here today. Shout out to you, Preston, for rolling it over here today. Heat number 1, J-Dub, Brown Shoes, Gerald Jones, Kenny Can, Saturated, Johnny Guns, BT, Joey Harb, Juan Ruiz, picks from Dave, Dutch Boy Fresh, TJ, Justin McKelvey, Tori Coker, Ken Wood, Bo Jackson, Rez Mob, T, Jeff Slaughter, Old E, JP, Donut Silks, Skunt Blaster, and Joseph Thompson round out our first.
And before we start, Chill Will, you have to be a gold member of Pub Sports Radio to have a horse in this race. And we will be racing tomorrow as well. We do 2 $50 races a day unless Preston, myself win it, then we carry it over. Jose, you've yet to get into the cash, so we don't know what you do. We don't know. Maybe you take it and run with it. We don't know. The jury's out. We don't know what Jose does with this winner.
Who knows?
So all you have to do is be a gold member here to be in these races. Jose, you call the first 30 seconds. I'll take us home.
Yeah, let's get after it. Heat number 1 officially underway. Shout out to you guys all in this heat. Good luck. A lot of good friends in this heat. Skunt Blaster pushes out to the front. Picks from Dave, Joey Harb, all in the mix here. 45 seconds left. This is a packed race. This is one of those quarter horses that we're talking about, Jimmy. A sprint, a 1-minute sprint to get down here. Who's coming through? 35 seconds left, and old Jeff Slaughter in the mix.
Jeff Slaughter up front, but Old E, who gifted 5 Pub Sports Radio memberships, making a move forwardly up front. But yes, there are 8 or 9 horses in a line. Justin McKelvey, Tori Coker, Joey Harb, the top 3 move on to the finals. Whom will that be? Saturated trying to make a move. Skunt Blaster still involved. Joey Harb, a 3-time champion right there. Dutch Boy Fresh also making a move to now. Dutch Boy Fresh, here comes TJ. TJ making a big move late, and J-Dub. TJ and J-Dub, Joe T, also Bo Jackson. That is your final, TJ. Moving on to the finals. TJ, Bo Jackson, and J Dub moving on to the finals. Congratulations to you three. Get that cash. Here we go. That is our first round, Jose. And those three have moved on to the finals.
Yes, congratulations.
I'm surprised they counted Joe T behind J Dub. Again, we have no control over that, Joe T.
The Bob kills people sometimes. It kills people. So shout out to you, all that participated in Heat 1. We moved to Heat 2. Heat 2, an exciting one here. A lot of familiar faces. Lexicon, Subhuman Gaucho, Kelly McGinnis, Fernando Mendoza, Juan Chavez, Billy Friedrich, Sports Money, Nunya, Top Set, Rod Z, Fanatical Jim, Big Ragu, O'Brien Palmer, Little Domo, K Wolf, George Wood, Nuke Worker, Joey Marinaccio, Jarek White, Sharon Pulliam, Chosen One, Zoe Faye, Jason Meyer, and old Jose Bouquet at the top of the screen. We're off and racing yet again, and there goes Jose Bouquet all the way by. And there he goes all the way to the back. 50 seconds left in our race. Jason Meyer, K Wolf, Big Ragu, top three right now. Juan Chavez fighting for the mix here. The horses bunched up because everyone knows these races are all about late base. Nunya coming up from the back. Billy Friedrich poking his nose up to the lead. Lexicon in the one lane starting to make his charge. 28 seconds left, Jim. What do we got?
Lexicon in front. Jose Bouquet was moving forwardly, but has flattened, as we say in the horses. Flattened. Billy Friedrich right there. Fernando Mendoza. Kelly McInnes trying to break his offer. Can Kelly McInnes show some late pace here? Moving on the final 10 seconds. Big Ragu moving towards the finish line. Big Ragu trying to find the wire and looks like he will get there with ease. Big Ragu cashing and moving on to the finals. Big Ragu, Jarek White, and Fernando Mendoza. Jose, not a bad showing. 5th place, not a bad showing. The Nuke Worker in 6th. Kelly McInnes in 10th, continuing his streak of losing, sadly. But we have Big Ragu, Jarek White, Fernando Mendoza moving on to the finals. Very, very exciting, Jose.
Very exciting stuff there. Indeed. And that leads us to our final horse race of the first round. It's exciting here, Jim. We have a lot of familiar faces. If you didn't hear your name, guess what? You're in it now. We have Randall Sheffield, Ron Crawford, Ricky Levine. Jimmy the Bag. Is it Pirates action?
Cincinnati Reds 2-0.
Yep, home run. Nice. Jonathan India again for you Jonathan India bettors, by the way. All right, so I was reading the names. It is Randall Sheffield, Ron Crawford, Ricky Levine, I'm That Heat, Jimmy the Bag, Director 97, Preston Ekdahl, Rob Free, Matty Ice, Dabby Cab, Crystal Craig, Iron Eagle, Philly Eagle Flyer, Big Show Picks, Nufflush Allen, Julian Cesario, Chris Boggin, William Bardo, Sam Colmer, Coin, Kent Davies, Nasty Nate, Ricky Bobby, and Connor Mack Picks rounding out our last heat. And we're racing here yet again. Who is coming out on top? These final 3 participants to get into the $100 horse race. A lot on the line here. Nasty Nate poking out in the front, but falling back a little bit. Irony Eagle, Philly Eagle Flyer, and I'm That Heat all in the mix. And Jimmy the Bag down there, the 5 lane. He's making his presence known. Who's coming home with it, Jimmy? Is this your time? Is this your time to get into the $100 horse race?
It looked like it was, but now we are moving backwards. Still some late pace possibilities. Maybe just gathering my breath for one late run. We have 7 or 8 horses in a line trying to find the wire. Director 97, at least 2-time champion, moving towards the finish. Will he get home? Randall Sheffield in business as well. And here comes Crystal Craig. Here comes Crystal Craig with a huge move to the front. Crystal Craig getting that cash. I'm That Heat flying as well. Philly Eagle Flyer trying to get involved. And which 3? Crystal Craig, I'm That Heat, and Randall Sheffield. Moving on to our final heat. We will have 9 racing for $100 here. 5 racing for $100. And the push for the Pirates' first 5, but that under cashed very easily in the Pirates' first 5. If I had to spend more time with that Red Sox Marlins spot, I think I would have been on the under. I was getting my action in, and you broke that down perfectly for us to cash with that under. I wish I had have stayed with it here, but all is okay. We cashed. If we can get that Reds first 5 in plus a half, then we will be 2-2 with a push, which is fine. I like where we stand with this White Sox Guardian spot. Both pitchers looking strong, so everything's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. But whom will be $100 richer, Jose? We have 9 finalists.
Hoomst, indeed. Randall Sheffield, I'm that Heat. Crystal Craig, Fernando Mendoza, Jarek White, Big Ragu, J Dub, TJ, and Bo Jackson, I believe, right? We're off. Here we go. Bo in the mix. Crystal in the mix here. 50 seconds for glory. Who comes away $100 richer today? $100 richer here. Tory Coker saying Crystal Craig is going to win here. So shout out to you, Tory. Crystal is in the lead. Fernando Mendoza coming back from behind. J-Dub in the mix. Jimmy, take us home. Who's $100 richer?
$100 up for grabs here on Pub Sports Radio. Gold member raises. Fernando Mendoza 20 seconds away from possible glory, but J-Dub has something to say about that. Big Ragu moving backwards, but Big Ragu finding some late pace when we thought he was done for. Big Ragu moving forwardly for the cash. Can Big Ragu find the wire? I'm that Heat trying to find that wire. Here comes Randall Sheffield and TJ and Crystal Craig. Crystal Craig gets the money. Wow. Crystal Craig, our friend Crystal Craig, predicted by Tory Coker to win the race, takes home the cash. Crystal Craig couldn't go to a better person. We love you, Crystal. Love capping with you. $100 richer, Jose. Please, Crystal, all you have to do is email pubsportsradio@gmail.com, pubsportsradio@gmail.com, and you will be awarded your riches. What a race.
What a race indeed. Trisha saying that was better than Belmont. So
that was very exciting. And it's great to see Crystal get that cash. We love Crystal. Love it. All right. Wow. What a special 4th of July for all of you guys. Enjoy the moment. Soak up the sun. Enjoy the time with the family. Eat well, drink well, and know that you are loved. Let's review our action here. Spreadsheet play today, birthday pick needed for him, Jose. What is Ron Crawford's birthday pick?
Yeah, it's definitely not any of those first 5 unders, Ron. I'll tell you that.
Oh, shit. I hope Chang Kim didn't take that. But
yeah, I know. Fuck me.
We've not been delivering for Chang, our friend Chang. I wish we were, but we have not been.
Yes. And by the way, yes, Crystal Craig, you did win. Congratulations. You do.
Crystal Craig here. Look at that. $100 richer, Crystal. And Crystal, thank you. Thank you for all that you do for us. You're always supportive in the chat, always giving positive energy. You're a gold member of the channel. I couldn't go to a better person. We love capping with you, and congratulations. $100. And Crystal, that's $100 American.
Yeah. Yeah. I took Jimmy for 150 American and
137.50.
Sorry.
Answer.
I apologize. And that was a lot Canadian. So.
197.
Yeah. Got your ass. That's me and Sonny are gonna go in the Hall of Fame for that.
Upsetting.
But it's gonna be a fun day nonetheless. My best bet for you, Chang and Ron Crawford, hopefully is going to be the San Diego Padres. Full game money line. Fuck you, Max Scherzer. Let's go.
Padres. So the birthday pick, Ron, the Padres tie it and add the Argos money line on top of it to juice that up. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today, dog, is the LA Angels. Billy Friedrich, Pig Milk play today is the Phillies Dodgers money line parlay. Justin McKelvey stacks. Oh, speaking of stacks, play today in the Juan Soto spot. We didn't get my fault. Stacks is Soto over 1.5 bases.
Stacks.
Razor Sharp Pick shared his entire Delaware card. I just popped that in the chat. Thank you, Razor, for sharing your hard work with us. And let's talk about action here. We cashed Mets Washington to get off to a winning start. Looks like we've given a little bit back, but Pirates first 5 was a push, no harm, no foul. Reds first 5 plus a half, is in business, but we got a long way to go. We got one out in the third, but Montas shoving, trying to show the Yankees what they've missed. But it's got a long way to go. We're not going to get too confident. By the way, the scoring stopped in that Astros Jays game. Interestingly enough, 3-3 after the first inning, and I'm sure you could have gotten under 14.5 at that point, but it's hard to make moves on those spots. So early action looked okay, but then the first 5 under in Astros Blue Jays was a mistake. I wish I had moved on that. I wish I had spent more time with Kyle Tyler in the Nick Pivetta spot. The under 8.5, it's 2-1 White Sox Guardians. I wouldn't say that I am too confident. That's a 9.5 live, minus 140 to the under. We have Philly Eagle Flyers. I've never asked for a birthday pick because there's never a game, but this year, study up, boys. July 13th, we have games. I love it, Philly. I love it. Then we have next up, I lost that first 3 under 2.5, so those are the back-to-back losers. And I don't think I move on this Phillies Cubs first 5 under 4. I'm just going to stick with my Cubs first 5 and stick with that. Jose's going to go over his action in a second. But at that point, my actions really slows down. And hopefully I'm in the black because all I'll have left is the Royals first 5. I'm going to tail Jose in that under 2 in Copa. And then I'm heavily invested in the football game tonight. Jose... Oh, and then, of course, our guy Brizzy is on the over 172.5 in Mystics Aces. Jose, review your action, my friend.
Yeah, so I'll skip down from all the ones that are in action now. Phillies Cubs about to go off. I'm on the first 5 under 4, minus 115. Padres money line plus 102. Angels money line minus 105. Shout out to you, Ron Crawford. And then doubling up on Rockies team totals 2.5, minus 105, and 4.5. minus 120 for me, and you already talked about Copa. Under 2, let's just grind it out to Ecuador, hoping that you can keep yourselves afloat here today.
Yeah, I like it. I like the idea here. And Spenny Penny Bombs in action here. Our friend Spenny, we've missed you. Tyler Soderstrom, homer and RBI for our guy, Mr. Bombs.
Yeah, shout out to you, Spenny. I hope that you save your money tomorrow, Spenny. Don't go betting on Canada tomorrow, Spenny. Join the smart Canadians like Slatsy. Bet on Venezuela tomorrow.
Chip, that's the Rockies team total over first 5 in full game, 2.5 and 4.5 for Jose. And it's good. It's impossible for me not to move on Canada in that game. I'm just not sure exactly how to do it. I do think that the SGP though. First 10 minutes tie, first half tie, full game tie.
Oh, it's going to be, I'm telling everyone now, it's going to be 0-0. It's going to go to penalties, and I'm going to have open heart surgery. It's going to be horrible. I'm not excited.
Instead of getting the 10-1 like you're getting in Euros, 4.5-1 because there's no extra time.
Nope. Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely going to be stressful. I'm not looking forward to it, but God bless Edward Bayo and company.
It's on. If it wasn't on Venezuelan Independence Day, I would have already bet it.
Yeah, you would have. Well, you should thank us for that. You should thank good old Simon Bolivar for doing that for you.
No, I'm not going to do any thanking of that kind. But I will thank you, Jose. You are ready to rock at all times, at all hours. Doesn't matter if I send you something at 11. Doesn't matter if I say the show's early. Doesn't matter. You're always up for the task, and you deliver with aplomb. Now we need to succeed here today. Willie Adames homer plus 375 after getting booted last game. That's an interesting look. That works for me in NBA prop market. But Jose, thank you for all that you do for us, my man. Truly, thank you, and have a great 4th of July, and then have a great Venezuelan Independence Day tomorrow. Spenny, Penny Bombs, Goran, Nikovsky, Swiggy, Big Daddy Boom, Chip Plylar, Thank you guys. Philly Eagle Flyer, Tori Coker, Coin, Mikey, Money, Crystal, Craig, all of you guys. Thank you. Jay Peasy for Sheezy, Phil the Kill, Dirty Reg, Fernando Mendoza almost got that hundo. Man, it was great racing, Fernando. Sorry he didn't get that cash. Nunya, all of you guys. Thank you. Chill Will and a little Domo, Big O. We have nothing without you guys, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday today. Enjoy the moments. Young Native Tino, thank you. All of you guys, thank you. Jose Bouquet, final words. Bless our action and let's us into the future.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be very fun. Should be a fun show. I'm going to say now the top 3 most important Venezuelan soccer game that I've experienced. It's going to be very fun to watch it all and ignore all of my friends at the beach while I watch this game in silence, pacing around with my shirt off. So thank you guys as always for watching. Thank you, Robert, Fernando, Philly, all you guys. We appreciate you guys. Support the pub in any way you can, whether that be liking the video, hitting the subscribe button, becoming a member so you can join in on these fun horse races. Get your merch discounts as well. And all that merch can be found at pubsportsradio.com. Shout out to our guy Swig, who does a great job on the website as well and doing all that compiling of picks. Shout out to everyone that works behind the scenes at Pub Sports Radio. We appreciate you guys. Now let's go milk some motherfucking bookies. Right from the loins, guys. Right from the loins. You just have to grab and squeeze. Leche. Los bookmakers.